First time meeting you, Sister Carol. How you doing?
I'm fine. How are y'all?
Considering we under depression, I guess we're doing all right. Just trying to set this thing up here. Okay.
Okay.
Brother Maurice should be here in a minute too. So.
Oh, sure. He's the one sent me the link. So.
I sent you the link too.
Well, no. When I clicked on the link you sent me, it took me to the actual video, like the YouTube version.
I sent you. I think I sent you both of them. I thought the Hangout and the actual video.
Yeah, because once I went to my inbox and clicked on it, it took me to the actual video.
Okay, Brother Maurice is here too. Everybody's on time, showing up. Hey, that's really great. I heard Negroes don't like showing up at places on time. That's what I heard through the grapevine. Is that true? I can only speak for myself. I'm always, I come from the nation of Islam. We're taught to be early, never late. That's a practice. We don't play that. Matter of fact, you don't show up at all. If you don't come late, just don't show up. Stay home, eat your pork. That's what I was taught. We don't do stuff late. You're supposed to always be on time. With that said, y'all, of course, in the name of our ancestors, peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what I call the Reality Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the host or the gatekeeper of this program, known here on the World Wide Web. I am known wherever you may find me as the Mighty One, Angel Snuff 7. I am your soul brother, #1. And with that out of the way, we got a lot to cover. Brother Maurice, 45 questions. I printed it out, right? And the printer kept going. I'm like, hey, because I didn't pay no attention. I'm like, it's a few questions or whatever. And the printer kept going, zip, 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 zip. I'm like, where are these questions coming from? I was like, nobody gave me one. Who are these people you talking to? As long as I've done this, presented this campaign, I'd rather get nothing, and you got 45 in one shot like this. I'm like, hey, what's up with this? Hey, okay, well, we'll deal with that today. I don't know if we're gonna deal with the whole 45. It's a whole lot of stuff to try to cover, but we're gonna try to get to at least probably half, I guess.
Yeah. Yes.
I would think, make it very simple. If we don't know, we just don't know. So I pass and just. That's all you can do if you don't know.
That's right.
You just gotta move on. We'll try to get back with you later. Keep the question, and maybe we have an answer later on. I don't like pulling things up out of the air, or like they say, out of your backside, like some people say.
Exactly.
I can't do that. If I answer a question, I want to have an idea that is the answer. So, welcome, of course. I always acknowledge your sisters first here. You know it. Sister Carol is in the house. Sister Carol, how you doing?
I'm doing fine.
That's great. That's great, Sister Carol. Nice talking to you on the forum on YouTube, and I'm glad to see you live.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's everybody. But I made it.
All right.
I made it.
Yes, ma'am. Good to see you. Good to see you. Sister's #1 on my channel, so you might have to stick around here. I don't know what other people do on other channels, but Sister's getting #1 priority here.
Okay.
All right, and
real nice to know.
Yes, ma'am. And of course, Brother Maurice, my partner in crime. We on equal level here. I'm not Batman. He's not Robin. We on equal level here. So this is the Justice League. We're looking for some other members. We got 2 Justice Leaguers, and we got a Wonder Woman. So where the rest of y'all? Where the rest of this Justice League at? And of course, Brother Craig's in the house. He's a spectator for the time being.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Yeah, peace to Brother Craig. He's always
Appreciate you guys having
support.
me.
Yes, sir. And we're gonna get this party started. And like I said, I'm not no television host or nothing like that, but I do believe that the itinerary, Mims is in the house. Y'all know who Mims is. I don't know how he finds out, and he's always come to these chats, but he's a white guy. He's always welcome. He's always welcome. He don't mean any harm or nothing like that. He's just here. So, you know, we treat others as we would like ourselves treated. So I welcome Mims to the conversation. I think the itinerary today is, well, not I think. The itinerary today is we're going to speak about some current events real quick. And of course, the main conversation, we're going to be answering questions in relation to this idea or this concept of taking control of a state. And I think it should be interesting. And like I said earlier, if we can answer that inquiry, we will do so. If we can't, we just skip it and get back with you later and perhaps try to find an answer at a later time. But Brother Maurice, you wanted to speak about, I think it was 2 issues. You wanted to talk about the brother that was shot in Florida.
Yes, sir.
And it was something else. Then you mentioned something else you wanted to speak about before we got into these questions.
Yes, sir. I also wanted to speak about the guy by the name of Nature Boy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And there's another guy doing the same thing in Belize.
Mm-hmm.
And there was 2 sisters who did a video, and they were explaining what they thought they were going to get and what they were expecting, because they wound up paying over $100,000 just to be there.
Wow.
Every 3 months they had to pay $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
So they came from New York City to go to Belize to be a part of this guy's quote unquote nation. And when they got there, it was not what they had expected.
Right.
And so, you know, they were out of money because it took their money and all that, you know, and it just seems like one big cult after another. And our people are continuously falling in the gap. They're continuously falling in there. And, you know, it needs to come to an end, especially because it seems as though the victims are always our sisters.
Mm-hmm.
They seem like the ones that are the victims of it. You know, brothers go there to these little camps as well, but, you know, they're not treated like the way that the sisters are treated. So for people like that, you know, it tells us, you know, that A, our people are really hurting. Mm-hmm. B, that they're really looking for a place where their idea of heaven on earth can actually be found, yes, can actually be lived. You know, they're looking at all of these different realms of thought that teach good and holistic life principles and all this stuff. And so they buy into it. And with these people cases of paying 10 grand every 3 months, you know, they wind up giving their life savings over to a lie. And that's a very bad thing to do. And at the end of the day, you know, it makes people wonder, you know, are there any real escapes? Mm-hmm. You know, and unfortunately, you know, when people don't have the full understanding of our plan, mm-hmm, you know, they may see our plan as something similar, but our plan is nothing similar to that at all. And one thing that our people needs to understand is that we understand what you're going through, not because we're looking at it from the outside, but because we live it. We live it. And see, for the nature boy and this other guy that's in Belize, there is nobody to hold them accountable for the wrong that they do. The Belize government, when the sisters went to them and went to the U.S. Embassy, and they were told that, you know, they got many complaints on this guy, but unfortunately, it's nothing that they could do because Belize is not America. America has its laws, Belize have its laws. And so, you know, for him, it's a perfect getaway because he gets to rob you, take your money, and whatever you have to offer, and then when you're finished being used, he puts you out. And then you're left in a country with nothing. With nothing. So, you know, it's very important that our people be able to look out and understand the scam artists from those who are real. And I would definitely advise them, don't go to a different country. Don't do that, because you really isolate yourself. And that's one of the key things that these cults do. They isolate you from your normal surroundings, from your family. They make you, you know, cut things off. In both groups, when you get into there, they put you away from everybody else. And they say for 30 or 60 days, you can't join the group. You got to stay by yourself while you're getting like kind of detox. You're supposed to be getting the system out of you so you can embrace this new way of living, this new lifestyle, and all of these lies. So our people are hurting, and we got to understand that running to another country with people that you have not checked out thoroughly enough will not put you in the best environment, will not put you in the best situation. So that our sisters have to be very, very careful when you make a life-changing decision to move to another country that you're going to live in the forest. You're taking life-changing decisions that can wind up you leaving in a box, or you being buried in some far country, not even knowing, you know, your family, not even knowing the reality of what was going on in the ground. So, you know, I think our sisters need to really think about that before they rush out, because I understand the pain that you're in, that we are in, living constantly in America and having to put up with the foolishness that we have going on. And, you know, that stuff has to stop. It has to stop. And so that's my little bit on that. I'll go ahead and let you comment, and then we can talk about the Florida shooting.
Well, I concur with everything that you said on this issue. In fact, I would take it perhaps one step further. And this is something that maybe some folks may not even relate to Nature Boy or going overseas with this other, I guess you would call it a cult or whatever type of movement they're doing. I was sent a video also about, it's a sister that has moved, I forgot exactly what place, but she's not in the country either, but she's established a retreat, and she seems to be more legitimate, because the only thing she's doing, she herself has moved out of the United States because she said, I don't want to be around white folks. Simple as that. And she's offering sisters, you know, you pay a certain fee, and she's developed this resort, and they can come and chill out, you know, and be away from white folks for a certain period of time. That's not the same as, of course, this Nature Boy and this other crap that's going on. However, on a larger scale, when I look at what you're talking about, when we have our people talking about, let's go back to Africa and build a nation, you know, you're putting yourself in the same type of predicament, because you're going to a foreign land, and you're going to a foreign land. Of course, you're going to have to be under, you're not going there to be independent. You're going there, you're going to have to, you're subject to whatever their laws and however their customs and things of this nature. And then those who are, that you're following, you don't really know what they have in store, what their mentality is. So again, you're putting yourself in a position where you're breaking ties with your strong point, which of course is the United States. This is where we come from. Your family and anybody that really care about you, you're cutting yourself off from that support system, and you will be putting yourself in a foreign land with some people you really don't know what their intent is. I mean, they tell you we're going to build our own nation, whatever. And again, like you say, it's all, when sisters do this, with men having the mentality, women have been exploited for centuries. Mm-hmm. And they always put women in a position where basically you barefoot and pregnant. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's all that they expected. We built a nation. Just like right now, you have guys, and most of these sisters in these Black Power, Afrocentric type organizations, some of these sisters got 3, 4, and more children. Because we built a nation. You populating your nation. I think that you got that sort of backwards, don't you? Because birds build a nest first. Then they put the eggs in there. You know, have the babies after you build your nation. But see, the thing about it is, they may never build a nation. So these women might as well stay virgin, because you ain't never gonna have nothing to put these babies in. At the rate that you're going, it's pretty talk. It's nice. You know, I like to hear it. I mean, it's wonderful. I like to hear it. It's nice. But again, it's not reality. How can you build your own nation and you can't even control your neighborhood, your town, or your city? You know, what makes you qualified to control anything, to run anything? So if you build a nation and I'm not trying to make market, but if you're dumb enough to go with this group of people talk about we're going to Africa, return to Africa to build a nation, you dumb enough to do that, and people don't have no skills. I know brothers that don't even know how to fix a flat on a car. What are you gonna do in a foreign land? You don't have no skills. You can't put down no plumbing. You don't know nothing about a sewer system. You don't know nothing about electricity. Now, if you want to go over there and live like the Twa people, the Pygmies, maybe you might be able to pull that off, because it's not easy being primitive. You got to have those skills. You got to know how to go in the forest, which plants to eat, how to hunt down or whatever that in the jungle. It's still not easy. So brother, we have a fictional, childlike way of looking at this whole situation, but I understand where we're coming from, because we're sick of being oppressed, and we're trying to find an answer. But going out at it like this, and you're not really giving it detail, you're not really paying attention, then it's subject to trouble. And of course, as you know, at the extreme level, back in the 70s, I believe, it was the late 70s, you had that case of Jim Jones, which took our brothers and sisters, a lot of folks out there, and they end up drinking the Kool-Aid. That's a term now, drinking the Kool-Aid. Those people drank this Kool-Aid, and it was mass suicide. That's at the extreme. We don't know what the intent of persons once they get you out of your support system. We don't know that. I would rather stay here and deal with this cracker. At least I know what I'm dealing with. Dealing with a bunch of Negroes going out in the forest, in the jungle, talking about we're going to eat coconut for the next month. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I agree 100%. I also want to acknowledge, before we continue, my brother Guy's in the house. Brother Guy.
Hey, what's good? What's good, Taalik?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brother Guy's in the house.
Say hello to the panel. I'm glad I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad everybody's doing pretty good. That's good.
All right. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. And we got the common sense guy. He's in the chat room. Maybe he might give us some common sense about stuff. Oh, okay. So, but yeah, if anybody else want to comment on that current event, please feel free. We was talking about brother Guy about these, I guess you could say, these cult-like figures. They are enticing our people to go out in jungles and become part of these tribes, and
like Nature Boy, Nature Boy,
right, like Nature Boy, absolutely.
He's a nut. Nature Boy.
Yeah, he's a nut. He's got to be. But our people, we have these ideas of what freedom is, and going out in the jungle, and you know, I don't know. We're not really thinking these things through. But you know, when you're getting your butt whooped, you know, you just want to get out of the butt whooping. So you just, you know, that's really what it is. I'm just sick of being oppressed. I just, you know, get my butt whooped. I just got to flee. That's what the whole thing is all about. But damn, you know, you got to take your time a little bit. You know, ain't nobody was more scared than me, but I took my time to see where I was running.
Right.
You know, I just didn't run anywhere. You know, you could be running from one problem to something even worse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to take your time on things like this, especially just like Brother Maurice said. This is a life-altering decision. Matter of fact, it can be a life-taking decision. You could be actually on your way to the morgue.
Exactly.
You can go to places like that and never be seen again.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to get too much help from the authorities in these foreign countries. They're like, what was she here doing here to begin with?
Mm-hmm.
Who is Tony Muhammad? I don't know no Tony Muhammad. What is it? You know, I don't know nothing about those guys like that. You know, just disappeared. You know, in fact, you know, our people do disappear off this planet every day. You know, a lot of us are missing. A lot of us are missing. So, if anybody else want to comment on that, you know, feel free. Otherwise, we will continue to.
Taalik, what's the topic though?
Well, our topic, the main topic we're talking about is we're going to be answering questions as far as this Mississippi campaign is concerned. That's the primary reason that we're here. But we wanted to, I guess it'll be like a Oreo cookie today. We'll take some current events to begin with. Then we'll take some questions because we got 45 questions to answer. I don't know where these people come from with these questions, but we'll deal with that in the middle. Then towards the end, we're not going to try to keep this going on and on and on, but we're going to try to deal with maybe some other current events and call it a day. That's what we want to do. But the primary reason why we're here is to answer questions as far as this campaign to take control of a state.
You know, I watched Brother Craig live this morning.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going in and he was talking about, you know, the false people that portray one thing and turn out to be another. And he also was talking about the foolishness that we do as a people. He showed one car where the car was like, I don't even know how he got these wheels on this car, but it was these real big wheels driving on this car that's driving on it. And, you know, you think about how much the money it takes to put into something like that. For what? For what? You're wasting money, you're wasting time, you're wasting resources. And at the end of the day, you want to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be seen. He showed a picture of a sister with a helicopter in her head. You know, it's like, what in the world? What are we doing? What are we doing? You know, you want to be seen so bad that you're going to walk around like that. You're going to drive around like that. You know, it speaks to the condition of our mentality of our people. You know, and we definitely need that operation on a nation because we are some sick people. We are some sick people that's crying out for attention, crying out to notice me. I'm here. I'm here. But the way that you're doing and going about what you're doing is a very foolish and silly way. And I'll rest my mic on that.
Wow.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
My question is, what type of black people that you want to be around in Mississippi if we take over like this Mississippi takeover or control Mississippi? What type of black people? Because there's certain black people I don't want to be around.
True.
So, you know, how would you manage that? How would you manage? Because I don't want to hang out with, I don't want to be around ghetto people or anybody that with this European mindset, because we'll be going through the same issue with black people basically we're black faces with European minds.
Mm-hmm.
So how can we fix that? Because if we're trying to create a nation so we can feel safe and we can grow and prosper, then we have to get away from the European mindset. I don't want to live around homosexual black people. I don't. It's a very uncomfortable lifestyle. I don't do that. If I'm going to raise children, I want to raise my daughter to grow up to be a woman. I want my son to grow up to be a man. Okay? Interracial relations? No. Because that's an insult to me. If my daughter marry or somebody outside her race, how did that look like as a black man? You know, that means I haven't done my job as a black man. You see what I'm saying? Where she has to run to somebody that don't look like her to feel appreciated. Same thing with my son. So that's a hurtful feeling. And I don't know why these black dudes, these black fathers, give away their daughters to somebody who don't give a damn about them.
That's right.
True.
So
That's
what
true.
do we do with the mindset of black people? Because there's some black people I do not want to be around. I go through it every day.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to regulate that. We have to set rules in place. And we have to make that first. That's just me. So Taalik, what is your stand on these things?
Okay. I think that is that question is already somewhere here in the inquiry. We got 45 questions. I think that's been asked also. But like I said, I want to go ahead and deal with that after we deal with these current events. Not ignoring what you're talking about, but I'm going to deal with that once we get over. We only have one more item here in current events, and we'll address these questions. And I think Brother Maurice, you wanted me to screen share that news story about the brother being shot in Florida.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me see if I can do that.
This thing's really awful to see.
Let me see if I can do that. Screen share. Okay. All right, is my screen? Can y'all see?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I guess I'm playing this minute and 40 video, Brother Maurice, right?
Yes, sir.
Today, a father shot in front of his son, the shooter on his knees while he fired his weapon. And all of this apparently over a parking stop right in front of that Clearwater convenience store. But tonight, ABC Action News reporter Andrea Lamb digging deeper into the stand your ground angle of this case. It clearly indicates that the victim, the person who got shot, was the initial aggressor.
Tense moments where two lives will change forever in just seconds. Jeff Swart, ABC Action News' legal expert, takes a closer look at the men's body language.
And he starts to back off.
According to Swart, it's a unique case. The aggressor flips from one side to the other.
At this point, the defendant is under no immediate danger.
Being Marquise McLaughlin, now dead, may have started a physical fight, but when he saw the shooter pointing a gun, he leveled off.
The victim is no longer the aggressor. At this point, the shooter is the aggressor. And once he becomes the aggressor, he is not entitled to stand your ground.
In recent years, the stand your ground statute has shifted with the old stand your ground offense. If it is clear the shooter escalated the violence, he wouldn't be protected by the law. Now it's the state's duty to prove it.
The defendant can get up there and testify to how he felt and what was going on and how he was reacting to it. It's very hard for the state to overcome by clear and convincing evidence that assertion.
Either way, Swart says the stand your ground law will likely be a factor in the case. Andrea Lyon, ABC Action News.
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't get the volume higher on that.
No, it's okay. You know, the thing that you know, and I put out a video about this, but we have to realize that, you know, we are at war. We are at war. You have the police. First, you have the United States government and all its entities. You got the police. You got dumb black people that's looking to kill you. And then you got these predators, these white people that's out here that's looking to kill us. They're actually out here hunting. Now, this one guy who killed this brother, the week prior, he was talking to another black man trying to get him to say something so he could shoot him.
Oh.
So, you know, we have to stay in a constant state of readiness, 24 hours, 7 days a week. When the brother was killed in Maryland by another white supremacist standing at a bus stop, and, you know, he was going to the University of Maryland. He had his white friends, and, you know, his mind wasn't where it needed to be, because when the white boy stepped to him and started saying stuff that he didn't understand what the white boy was saying, he didn't realize that his life was in danger, and he lost his life. And the same thing with our brother, which we just saw, how he lost his life. You know, when you're dealing with white people and it's an altercation, you can't give them the benefit of the doubt that they're going to be okay. You know, you pounce on them and you pounce on them until they are eliminated, period. Period. Because what we just witnessed is the same damn thing that happened when Hannibal, when he was fighting the Romans.
Right.
There was a video that I shared earlier in the week on Facebook where you had two brothers from Nigeria fighting, more like two groups. And, you know, here in America, you got your two groups fighting, then everybody going to be fighting at the same time, and, you know, the stuff going to happen. But the way that they did it, I've never seen a fight so mannerable and disciplined. You know, they fought each other and one would fall down. They wouldn't pounce on him and beat him up. They wait and let him get up. And then, you know, if the brother wanted to still fight, then they still fight. And if not, then somebody else would take his place. And then somebody else had to take the other person's place. And it was a respectful fight, you know. And we here in America, when it comes to fighting white people, we always hesitate. But when we're fighting each other, there's no hesitation. There's no hesitation. I'm coming and I'm going to beat you down and beat you down and beat you down. But when you're facing the enemy, you hesitate. And this brother, he hesitated, and it cost him his life, because the enemy is not playing with us. So we got to stop playing and understand that it is wartime. It is war. So for me, I stay in a constant state of readiness. I never think, when I leave my house, there's never a thought in my mind that I'm coming back home, that I'll make it back home. I don't think that way. I think that whatever may happen out there, I may not come back home. So if I don't make it come back home, all my business orders, they're in right affairs. So we have to understand that and always consistently be ready, no matter whether it's the police, no matter whether it's a crazy dumb white boy, no matter if it's a crazy dumb nigga, we got to be ready. And if you're not ready, then you will fall victim to the enemy or to a predator that's out there that's stalking us. That are stalking us. And the sooner that we get that understanding clear that we are at war and that we have to handle every situation as a soldier should. There's been different videos that I've watched where they're dealing with the police, and at a certain point, you should just drive the hell off. Because if you don't drive the hell off, you might not have a life left. And you gotta understand that it is okay. It is okay to drive the hell off because you're trying to save your life. And if you don't understand that your life is valuable, how the hell do you think an enemy is going to even want to understand that your life is valuable? So you got to do what you got to do and do not be afraid of the consequences. Do what you got to do and we'll deal with the consequences later. So with that, I'll rest my mic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Does anyone else wanted to on this story here?
Greetings, everyone. This is Soul Alchemy, aka Sister Soul, and I'm a little late and everything, but I was actually just reviewing the story myself and read more about it. I'm not sure how far into the discussion that you guys have gotten, but as I tuned in, of course, I like what Mr. Muhammad was saying here. He usually comes with it. But from what I saw and what I read, this guy, the shooter, had been harassing people over that parking spot more than one time. And he harassed the truck driver, so they didn't specify, you know, what was the color of the truck driver, but he did threaten him. And they were parked in the same parking spot, which wasn't even handicapped. So maybe he had some mental problems, I don't know. But he also threatened to shoot him. And so, yes, he initiated and he's been harassing people before. So, you know, at the end of the day, we can assume he's been just waiting for someone to be able to pull his gun out on. You know, according to the law, all you got to do is just say what the cops say. You were fearing for your life, and that's okay, which is unfortunate. And for the brother, you know, hopefully this can be a lesson to all of us. You know, first of all, know your laws, you know, and always be strapped and always be ready. I watched the video Mr. Muhammad did about this, and I totally agree with everything he said about, you know, how for him to come out there and push the guy down and then turn on him and begin to walk away, even after he saw him pull that gun. If you saw the tape, which I posted it on the video, it's uploading to my channel with the video of what happened. He clearly saw him pull the gun and he decided that he was going to still turn his back. Just because he probably wouldn't have shot that guy, that doesn't mean that this guy clearly wasn't going to shoot him. And unfortunately, he shot him. So if he attacked him, especially knowing what the law is, then he should have just went ahead and commenced to beating him down, at least till he was unconscious, and worry about the rest later. Maybe he could have said he was standing his ground. I don't know. But unfortunately, they found this guy, you know, not liable to be charged. And I couldn't find one picture of him on the internet either. You know, it's just, it's crazy, but it's eye-opening. And we gotta understand that, you know, we can't be sensitive to things because nobody's out here, the enemy's not trying to be sensitive with us. Like they're happy, more than happy to take our lives. And they'll conjure up any reason to do so, especially if you're in a state like that. And it's crazy that the stand your ground law came by way of the Trayvon Martin case. You know, so you got to look at some things, because I feel like some of that stuff is orchestrated for them to institute crap like this. So I'm going to yield the mic right now.
Wow. This, you know, things like this also makes us to really want to separate ourselves from these persons. Things like this should make us want to change, like Malcolm said, by any means necessary. Whatever compromise we have to do, whatever we have to do in order to protect ourselves, because this is like a jungle. You know, we are surrounded by savages. You think that you live in a civilization. This is savage. I'm just like Brother Maurice. You know, I'm not paranoid, but I understand this is a jungle. And I'm always watching over my shoulders and watching people when I'm in the public and things of this nature, because this is not some peaceful utopia. You got all kinds of savages running around. They after you. They after our little children. You know, some of them even after the animals. A cat can't cross the street. You got some sucker trying to get the cat. So, you know, that just makes it more important that we do entertain this idea of taking control of a state or something or equivalent to that. We have to take some type of action in order so that we don't continually become victims. We've been victims, of course, as you know, going on 500 years. And I would assume and I would hope that we are tired of being the victims. If anything, at least turn it around so that we are on the offensive instead of always being reactionary and always being on the defensive. The hell with that. These suckers need to worry about what we do for a change rather than, I wonder what the white man gonna do. I wonder what's no, you're gonna need to worry about what I'm doing, sir. You know, so we need to change this around. And that's what, this is what we are attempting to do in entertaining this campaign to take control of a state. In fact, the only real comment I've gotten is somebody asked me, why do you use the word control? You know, take over a state. That sounds intimidating. Yeah, it needs to be intimidating. That's what we need to do. Are you upset that a slave wants to take control of something? Is that's your problem? Because all in life, that's what we're doing. The Democrats are attempting to take over the House or whatever, or the presidency. Somebody's always trying to take control of something. You know, when you are in your car, you are behind the control of that vehicle. The problem with us for 500 years, we have not been in control of nothing. It's time that we take control. And when you take control of something, that gives you power. When you are behind the wheel of your car and you are in control, you have the power over that vehicle, power over that bicycle. When you control something, you know, if you control your diet, you are in control of what goes in and out of your mouth. So there's nothing wrong with control, except those who are upset that a slave gaining power might bring them some type of harm. You know, when you got control, that means you can't do to me what you used to do.
Right.
That's why many folks get upset. And then a lot of brothers and sisters who come to me asking why you use that word control is also because of fear. You know, you use that word control or take over, something like that, you're going to bring down the wrath of the white man. You know, so, you're going to get the wrath of the white man whether you try to do something or not. The brother just got shot dead. We just done the story. You're going to get the wrath of these people regardless, whether you try to do something or not. So we have nothing to lose. But if there's nothing else anyone wants to say on that subject, we want to continue.
I just want to add one more thing, that the brother, the truck driver that our sister was just talking about, he was black. He was black, that the dude was threatening that he was going to shoot. It was another black man. So he was out there hunting. He was looking for his prey. That's what he was doing. He was looking for his prey. He was looking.
So
you know, I do believe that. I believe that he was, but I guess there's nothing that the family can do at this point because they've declared it. He was standing his ground.
Exactly.
So I guess it's just a matter of teaching her children, you know, different.
Exactly.
Wow.
You know, if somebody have the intent to murder, there's not too much that you can do. I mean, you can teach a lot of different things, but when somebody has the intent to murder, you know, like in this situation, that brother should never have turned his back on that cracker. That's just the bottom line. You should never have turned his back, and it cost him his life. You should have made sure that problem was solved.
Exactly.
That's just the bottom line. You know what you're dealing with. I know I wouldn't ever have turned my back on that sucker because you know, not only a gun, but he could have been, you know, a knife is a weapon and other stuff that people carry, not just a gun. There's other things that people carry that can be cause you harm. So it's not a good idea, especially when you had a confrontation with this fella,
Exactly.
you know, and you turn your back. Not very wise. Not very wise. With that said, we're gonna go ahead and deal with some of these questions. And the first question, of course, is what Brother Guy brought up, and I think that question also is within all these 45 questions that we got here too. But what I'm getting from Brother Guy is basically there are some certain elements that he does not want to be around in the development of this state. So you don't want to be around the homosexuals. You don't want to be around so and so and whatever. So we're gonna have to keep this real. The original premise of this idea was simply to take control of the political system, the laws, in order to make things easier for us within this certain location. No more, no less. You have to understand that this is the United States of America. Taking control of the state, even if you accomplish that feat, this is still the United States of America under the jurisdiction of the federal government. This is the United States of America, and people can live wherever they choose to live. Homosexuals want to live in Mississippi or wherever. You are already living that way anyway. And you cannot just start off from the ground, and you cannot, it's not realistic that you think that you can go into a place and force your morality and your way of life or however you think things go. That's not how it works. You can do that over time, because if you do take control of these things, then those who don't like it, they will move. Hopefully that's what will happen, because they will see that that type of behavior or a certain riffraff is not going to be tolerated. They're not going to be able to be comfortable in that place. Also, if you can get the people, we're not, you know, from my perspective, we're not looking to make righteous people out of anybody. But in order for this to be successful, the people have to change a behavior to a certain point in order for this to be successful. Otherwise, the state of Mississippi becomes a big ghetto. And that's not what you want. You don't want a big ghetto. You don't want a bunch of ghetto-fied type folks running around. If you can get our people just to change behavior just a little bit, to make things tolerable, make things a little better. I mean, you can't expect things to change overnight. And we're not in a position to take control of the laws, and the political system in the state. That's just a beginning start. You cannot expect to, now if you want to take over a town, you can do that with a small town. You can do that with a neighborhood. When we talking about taking control of a state that's still within the jurisdiction of the United States government, that you can't expect for that to happen overnight. You have people that's there already. You have people with certain ways of thinking and such and such and such. But you can begin that process by taking control of the laws and the politics, because then you can eradicate some of these laws. Like, for instance, if Mississippi have a stand your ground law that's not beneficial to us, we can get rid of that. See what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that you can get rid of so that you can go on to do other things. You control the public school system. So if there's certain things in the public school system that you don't like, you can start taking things out and making it the way that you feel that public school system needs to be. However, of course, as you know, the public school system being funded by the federal government, you're gonna have some problems because it's funded by the government. So it's a lot of issues. It's a lot of things here that we have to look at these things from a realistic point of view. It's things that you can do, and there's certain things that you can't do. However, I always say it like this: if you can inspire the populace, our people, to think and behave in a certain manner, and you're always going to have rebels, you're going to always have people that don't want to ride in your car. However, if you have dogs and you notice if dogs are barking, woof, 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 and all the dogs shut up except one, that dog that's still barking, he's going to eventually shut up, because he looks stupid when all the other dogs have ceased barking, and he's still, running, still doing his thing, and it don't look right. So that's the same thing that I'm looking about here. if we can get our people to change their behaviors to a certain manner, those who don't wish to, they're just going to look odd and out of the box, because people are going to want to try to change because they want the ultimate change. They want this thing that Brother Guy is talking about. We want that. We want to live that type of way. We don't want to be around riffraff. We want to be able to live in a peaceful type manner. But to expect this overnight, just like that, is not going to happen. It's a process. And if you come in and try to force things on people, that's not the way. For me, that's not the way to do it. It has to be in a manner whereas people want to do this. Otherwise, of course, you're gonna get rebellion. You're gonna get problems from the races, of course, but you're also going to get rebellion from those of whom you're trying to make a change for. So that's the way I'm looking at that. Did you want to say something, Brother Guy? Or
yeah. The thing is that
yeah. Let me add a little bit to that.
Okay.
Okay.
Maurice, I just want to say this real quick.
Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
White people have forced a lot of stuff on us for centuries, and we abide by it. So how come if we control the political system, we have every right to pass laws? Now, right. one of the laws say there should not be any type of homosexual activity, or marriage or anything like that. Then they have to abide by the law. That's the law. That's it. For centuries, we have it was against the law. We couldn't even look at a white woman. It was against the law. They had the lynching law. For centuries, during Jim Crow, all those laws, those anti-black laws during Jim Crow, and black people had to tiptoe. So if we can deal with it, then everybody else can deal with it. That's bullshit. Excuse my language.
In a sense,
I'm sorry to say it, but I'm sorry, but we pass the laws, they have to deal with it. If they don't, they can leave. Plain and simple.
Well, let me just say this real quick. Just real quick. The thing is, like my brother Taalik was saying, you would still be underneath the jurisdiction of the federal government as well as the Supreme Court. So, if somebody, some homosexual couple or whatever, I'm not sure how, state and federal law, coincide with each other when it regarding, something like same-sex marriage. But, the Supreme Court would have the ultimate, decision. There's plenty of, cases. Like if you look at that, there was an owner at a white bakery or something like that, and he refused to make a wedding cake. Anybody familiar with that? Yeah. So I would just say, like, at the end of the day, I make it short and brief. At the end of the day, we would still be underneath the jurisdiction of the Supreme Court, the federal government. So.
Yes, sir. Brother Maurice?
I look at it like this. We control the laws, so we're going to make them to our benefit, because at the end of the day, we have a vision of what we want, and in that vision, homosexuality is not in there. In that vision, drug users and drug sellers, they're not in there. In that vision, those people who have made a conscious decision to be niggas, to stay niggas, they're not in that vision. So even though, the federal government makes laws and the Supreme Court, we have to be smart of how we utilize each tool within our power to manipulate circumstances that work out in our favor. Now, we know this is possible because they have done it to us.
Thank
you. They have done it to us. It's our turn to do it unto them.
Thank you.
We use what they got our way to affect what we want. And my thing is, look, I'm not compromising anything.
I agree.
I'm not compromising.
Either.
if Hitler didn't have to compromise with his 7 people and they took over a country and damn near took over the world,
Mm-hmm.
why the hell do I got to compromise with what I know is right? With what we know our people need?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not compromising anything. So, yes, we want a society that they're not a part of. And we have the mental capacity to think and to put situations together to make it happen. So the homosexuals that want to come, you ain't allowed. I'm telling you, right. You're not allowed. We will make regulations and things so that we can get what we need for our people to grow and to be prosperous. If you want to be a faggot, you stay in America with that bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you come to the borders of what is ours, you leave America. And everything that go in America, goddammit, it don't go here.
Right.
And we're not going to have it. We are not going to have it. You're not going to bring that bullshit here. You keep it out there. Because this is for our people. This is for our children. And they deserve a place to live in peace. They deserve that. Our women deserve that. And God damn it, as men, we are going to produce that for them. And that's not a compromise.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we will do it because we will think and use our mind productively and manipulate circumstances just like them bastards do to us. Well, guess what, baby? We're going to do it back to them.
Mm-hmm.
So, excuse me. Our own location and everything. If the gay people want to come there and say, I wouldn't, like you said, we're not going to allow that, but you know, they're going to buck up against what we're trying to stand on, and they're going to try to take us to the Supreme Court. So how are we going to steer clear of that?
Well, one, we would, like I said, we will use what we have in our tools. So we're not going to say right here what we're going to use, because then they'll already be thinking of what? How do I need to circumvent that?
Right.
So
right.
Just know that we will do what we need to do to make that a reality. Because I'm the
street justice.
on that.
That's great. I like that. I like that.
Yes, man.
I like that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm pretty much going to be, I guess, ear hustling at this point because I'm very new to this idea. And I have looked over the questions, but I have not yet been able to really speak with Brother Maurice on this to get a better understanding of everything. So I'm just trying to gain a little bit more insight as to the entire situation that you guys are discussing.
All right, sister. Very good points. Very good points. And I do concur with what Brother God stands upon and Brother Maurice. But of course, like I say, the reality is you're still under the jurisdiction of the federal government, and that's going to be your main problem. You're going to have to really, well, I mean, just like Brother Maurice said, we got our brain power here. You know, the same way they know how to slip and slide and make these different laws against us, we should be able to do the same thing with them. Mm-hmm. So, but however, at the same time, be prepared if you can't outslick the slickster. You know, this is still the United States of America, and people can live wherever. You have people just because you're saying, well, you know, homosexuals, they will come just because.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Just to be a troublemaker. Next thing you know, you have the federal government actually have to send troops down and break all of it up. See what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
See, one thing that we can do, because we're not going to say no homosexuals allowed.
Say that, no.
We're not going to say that. We're not going to say that. But what we can do we can say, okay, of an area that they want to move in. Well, we can control the price.
Right.
We raise the fucking price to where they can't afford it.
Right.
You know, we can do that. We can have what do they call them? Housing associations, right? We could create a housing association where there's rules. Boop, 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 boop. And if you don't, you gotta meet that requirement.
Yes.
And it ain't fucking easy. And you gotta stay with that requirement, because if not, they can put you out.
Yes.
And you can come with the Supreme Court and all that shit, but you still out. You see?
Because it's not a homosexual issue.
But here's the thing.
It's a tenant issue.
I got something I would like to throw into this just real quick. Here's the thing, and I just want my brothers and sisters here to deal with reality. The LGBT mafia is no joke. And I want my brothers to hear this. Here's the thing. Look at how many black leaders now, today, in 2018, themselves are compromised and accepting homosexuality. And I'm not just talking about black leaders. Look at black celebrities. Today, in this day and time, people are losing their jobs. Like, it's celebrities and stuff like that that's scared to speak out against it, because LGBT mafia will ruin your career. I just want our brothers and stuff to see how deep sexual perversion is, and how, we know the culprit behind it, and why it was created. It's created to stop black procreation. So I just, when you try to tackle the LGBT mafia, they are like one of the #1, eugenic programs of white supremacy. I'm just gonna end it there.
I just don't like that whole people can live how they want. People can live what they want. I just don't like that, because black people didn't live. They couldn't live how they wanted to live. We've been terrorized. We've been marked for centuries. And now that we have an opportunity to strike back, all of a sudden, it's a problem. I don't think that's fair, Taalik. I really don't think that's fair. If we have a position of power, then we can say, okay, there's a do's and a don'ts. For centuries, white supremacy had bullied us.
That's right.
I just don't understand how we couldn't live how we want to live. We want to live in peace. We want to do the right things. You got church have been bombed.
That's right.
Because white people didn't like the fact that we were decent people. They don't like decent black people. No. So they turned us into pimps and hoes and drug addicts and beggars. They turned us into that. We didn't want to be that. So they were so jealous of us because we were civilized people. Now we the heathens, we become like them. What I'm saying is that we need to get back in our natural state. And if we present that as just like, if you look at the white Jewish community, no one bothers them.
That's right.
No one bothers them. And they flourish. So if we can say, no, we're a people and we come from a land that we don't about certain things, then how come we can't present that to the government? They have to recognize that. They have to recognize for centuries we've been picked on and bullied. So I'm sorry. Homosexuality came from slavery. The slave master used to molest and rape not only our babies, but the men.
That's right.
So that need to be brought up. So we can't forget about the history. We have to bring up history. So we couldn't live how we want to live. So we're going to have to do the same thing to them. We got to make them feel uncomfortable. So I'm sorry. If we're going to control, damn it, then let's control it. We're not going to, like my brother said, we're not going to compromise. That's it. Plain and simple. You keep thinking about the government. Damn the government. The government didn't protect us.
No.
So I'm sorry, Taalik, I can't roll with that. I'm sorry. That's just me. That's just how I feel.
Could I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sister wanted to ask a question.
Sister Soul wanted to ask a question.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was me. Well, first of all, I have to tell y'all, you know, I don't know if any of you guys watch my channels, but I don't consider myself Black. I don't consider myself African. That's I just don't. My ancestors didn't come from Africa. But to each his own. I mean, everybody should know their own specific history. But I'm just curious about one thing. When you say something like homosexuality came from slavery, I think it predates slavery in a lot of ways. I mean, they've already shown that it was happening in Kemet. So I don't know if you guys believe that to be true, or
homosexuals came from ancient Kemet.
Well, I'm not saying it came from there, but I'm saying that they have hieroglyphics showing that they were practicing it.
Can you show that
back then? I don't personally. I mean, I don't get involved.
Yes,
that's not true at all. But I just need
like Taalik said.
We're not going to jump topic.
Yeah, that's not jump topic.
Okay.
That's a whole topic in itself.
That's us. Yeah, that's a whole topic in and of itself. You know, that's you know, we got one inquiry. We got 45 questions. But I mean, everything people are saying, everybody has a valid concern here, and you have to take that into consideration. You know, I'm rolling with you, brothers. You know, I'm down. Ain't no doubt about it. We just have to be smart. We just have to be smart about how we do things. That's the reason why I think that Mississippi is a great place to begin, because who's thinking about it anyway? See what I'm saying? Maybe by the time attention is brought, we would have that. You have to have some type of power base, and you have to have a support system. Maybe by that time, you go in and do these things the way they need to be done, you have the support of the populace there. So that makes things much more difficult for those who wish to disrupt what we're trying to do here. So that's, you know, but again, like I said, we're not going to say that. You know, certain things we're not going to say, we just do. Because you don't want to bring that type of attention. It's going to be done, but we don't have to sit around, well, you know, Mississippi, if you're homosexual, don't come here. You know, you don't, you know, that's not really wise to do. You know, just be smart about how you wish to proceed. That's all. And you can one. Yes, sir.
I just want to add one more thing to what our brother was saying. You know, when it comes to power,
yeah,
and when it comes to people have laid down for the homosexual agenda. One of the people on my channel, I think his name is Brother Chris, he sent me a video, and it shows this drag queen teaching children about being a drag queen, and then ask them who all wants to be a drag queen. That's true. And the children raising their hands about they want to be a drag queen. Now, see, for me, that was highly offensive. Highly offensive. And, you know, thank God my child wasn't in there, because we would have a problem.
Yes.
Serious problem. Now, see, these people, they have gotten people to bow down and accept their way. But that don't happen here. See, because there's a line that must never be crossed. And if you cross that line, I'm going to deal with you in such a manner that you will think 100 times before ever thinking about crossing that line again. And the problem that Black people have is we have not established the line. And when lines were established and they were crossed, we said, okay, ain't no big thing. And that's wrong. That's wrong. So we got to make sure that people understand that it's consequences that will come. Now, maybe you didn't have to pay a consequence with those who came before us. But God damn it, they damn near died off now.
Yes.
And now it's our time to right the ship. And damn it, we're going to right this ship, and you're going to understand that crossing the line means you're going to pay consequences. You're going to pay consequences. Because if you did it to other people and that they didn't like it, you paid consequences. Every time somebody cross a line that the Jewish people don't like, the fake Jews, they punish you for it. They made Michael Jackson go back in the studio and take out a line in a song because he said, "Jew me, do me." And they made him take it back. Well, you know what? If they can do that, damn it, we can do that. The only thing stops us is because we want to be pliant. We want to be flexible. No, we can't continue to be pliant. We can't continue to be flexible. You had Barack Obama in office for 8 years. And we didn't get a damn thing from it. Nothing. Now, some will say, well, you got, what do they call my brother's keeper. Get that bullshit out of my face. Because that's nothing. That's not even a toothless tiger. That's nothing. That's not even the body of a shell. That is nothing. Here you have the president, the so-called most powerful man on the planet, and our people are getting killed day in and day out. And the best thing that this nigga can say is that if I had a child, he would look like Trayvon. And then we supposed to be, he said something big. Fuck him. That ain't saving us. That ain't doing nothing for us. So if you in an elected position, you in an elected seat of power, and you can't do a damn thing, then you're not really a power. You're nothing. And we can't honor you. We can't respect you. We should hate you because you have betrayed us. Because there's been people in that seat who have done for their people. And now you in the seat and you can't do shit for us. That should hurt us. That this bastard worked in our name. And these other bastards in these political positions that come to us and say, yeah, we're going to do change. Yeah, we're gonna revitalize, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that. And what do we get? Nothing. So since they keep giving us nothing, and nothing is not all right with me, and it shouldn't be all right with you. So we gotta flip this shit around. When we get in power, we use every freaking bit that we got, and we continually get more and more and more power, and we will force our way. We ain't asking nobody. They didn't ask us when they stole us from where we were. They didn't ask us. They didn't say, hey, won't you come on over to America? I got some nice work for you to do. Let me make you into a nigga. They didn't ask us. They snatched us and then made us. They made you a nigga. They didn't ask your permission. They made you into that. And then as you started to grow and started to mature and started to think, then they say, nigga, who told you to think? Did I give you permission to think? You better do what the hell I say, or I will punish you. I will break you, nigga.
That's what they said.
That's how they do to us. And that shit is over with. That shit is over with. We ain't compromising. And we not going back. When we get power, that's ours. That's ours.
I know that's right. I feel the same way. Being a victim of their criminal justice system, I I took a position of no compromise. I paid a dear price, but when it's all said and done, see, that's the thing about it. Whatever decisions that we make in life, remember there's a price that you have to pay. That's right. I could have been out from my incarceration in maybe 3 years. Took me 10 years because I refused to compromise. But when it's all said and done, I'm for the better.
That's right.
I'm for the better.
That's right.
Because I did not compromise. So we hear the talk and everything, whatever. Are you really ready to take these hits? Because I'm telling you, you're going to take some hits. You're going to take some hits. Can you stand the storm? If we are able to do that, the benefits is unimaginable. This is the promised land. This is open the doors to actually, like I was speaking with Brother Maurice about, we're actually changing the reality. We actually will be changing the way life is done all over this planet. You coming from a slave to this position, and on top of that, a slave can't accomplish this. You have to change the way you do things. You have to change the way you think. You have to go beyond a slave and a nigga.
That's right.
They can't do it.
That's right.
They cannot do it. That type of mindset. You have to become, as they say in religion, you have to become a God because you're dealing with a God.
That's right.
You're dealing with a God.
That's right.
A slave can't deal with God.
That's right.
A servant can't deal with God. We have to become the gods. You talk about it all the time.
Yes.
I'm God. But you ain't being about it.
That's right.
You come out here and say, be, and
That's
it is.
Right.
That's the kind of power.
Yes, sir.
We're supposed to be gods. Well, then do it. Show me your power.
That's right.
I'm a king and I'm a queen. Of what? You're a king and queen of what? Well, we was that in Egypt. Egypt ain't existed. The Egypt you talk about haven't existed in 5,000 years.
Go ahead, black man.
You have to establish something right here. Matter of fact, if you establish your own, you don't have to be going 5,000 years.
That's right.
What we're doing right here today. And this is the platform. This is the diving board into that ocean.
That's right.
Yeah, no compromise. But we're going to do it just like they do it. Real smart and slick. It's like playing a game of chess. That's what I did when I was locked up.
Go ahead.
Tick for tack. They do a little something, and I do a little something. It's like playing chess. But we can get the job done. And when we conquer Mississippi, then we got Alabama. Then we got Georgia. And I can guarantee you this. People going to copy. The Mexicans going to want to do the same thing. The Germans going to want to do the same thing. All these people, we already separated. There is no melting pot. We ain't together anyway.
Exactly.
Everybody going to start going for their own.
That's
we
right.
need to have our part. And we should be running the show.
That's right.
Doing them how it's done.
That's right.
And you want to know something? When it's all said and done, you'll be looking at the fall of America. Ain't that what you want anyway? That's what
Go ahead. Go ahead.
You know, Brother Maurice sees the vision. I see the vision. Many of us, if you just look at it. I've been all over YouTube, and I'm trying to find something better than what we have to offer. Some kind of plan, some type of ideology. I'm looking for it. I'll be happy to support it. No big deal. There is nothing. Brother Maurice said, this is the only game in town.
That's right.
It's the only game in town. There's nothing coming from these groups or individuals. We are the smartest. We are the best right here. I'm telling you. You make a very good choice, Brother Guy, by sticking with us, man.
So what's the next question?
Okay, we got 40.
Well, just pick out the best. Just pick out the best.
The homosexual issue, so we can.
Right. So just pick out the best question.
May I chime in?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to ask, just for a little bit more clarity, the questions were submitted by different people, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Gosh, I still have a lot of questions, but basically, where did these people come from with the questions? Like, how did they know to submit? Did you tell them you were open to the questions, or you wanted them to submit the question?
They watched the videos that we have done. They've also heard me speak about it on the Initiative Radio Network. So we're out there. It's out there. And by looking at the questions, you can see that, you know, a lot of people are looking and asking their questions from their, you know, point of view. So it's out there and it's being discussed. So we have to answer the questions that come in.
Okay. Okay. You guys don't have any concerns about publicizing something like this before doing it? I'm just.
No.
And that's my last question for right now.
As far as the stuff that we're putting out is not detailed oriented.
Yes.
You know, it's not detailed. We're putting out enough stuff so that the people who would be interested, they will contact us and say, look, hey, I want to be a part. You know, how does this work? Boom, 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 boom. And then once we figure out who you are, what's what, then we go ahead and let it out. One thing that I believe we do realize is that the enemy is a universal snooper.
Yes.
So, you know, what we say, they're going to know about it. So we're going to do what we can do underground. And when it's time to move, we're going to move. We're going to move very expeditiously. And in all of our planning and all of our strategic planning, we should have everything taken care of. That's why it's important to get other people in so they could share their concerns. They can share their thoughts because it may be something that we had not thought of. And because you're bringing it to the table, now we can think about it and fix it before it becomes a problem.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, I'm late to the party, so thank you for clarifying that for me.
Yes.
You know, this endeavor requires brains power. It's not just one person, not one particular group. This is a large endeavor here. It takes brains power in order to deal with it because I don't know it all. I can come out here and help get the conversation started and have an idea and lay the base of how things need to go. But as far as when we start dealing with the groundwork, there's a lot of things that we need to cover. Mm-hmm. Because again, once we come into power, there are a lot of those with skills who is not going to like it, and they're going to take their businesses and their skills away. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have to be in a position to replace them.
Right.
And you know, I'm not an auto mechanic. I can't fix your car. You know, I can change it flat, but I can't fix the car. So we need everybody of all type of skill levels.
That's right.
To do these different things. I don't know nothing about setting up electricity lines and things of this nature, whatever. You're going to have those problems when you come in and take control because those who are already there is not going to like it.
That's right.
Simple as that. So we're going to have to find their replacement. You get the hell out of here. Bye. We don't need you.
That's right.
And one of the simplest things that I've come up with to draw income is since Mississippi is a agriculture type state anyway, we focus on organic foods. Mm-hmm. So we will be producing, I mean, organic foods is a $1 billion industry all over the world. Mm-hmm. I suggest that we involve ourselves in producing real organic food. I'm not talking about the crap the United States government talk, well, this is organic, and they got all these different levels of organic food. No, we will be producing real organic food. The same type of stuff I grew up on when I was a little boy. There was no pesticide. You know, you find worms in apples. See, these people are more concerned with profit. That's why they spray all these chemicals on your fruits and vegetables and things of this nature so they can kill the worm because the worms eat a certain percentage or whatever. We're not caring about the profit-wise like that. We're caring about your health.
Exactly.
That's what we're caring about. But if we will produce enough, well, the worms can have some too. Yeah. You know, Mr. Worm can have a little bit too. But we'll be much, much healthier. We produce organic beef and cows and chickens and milk and nuts and bread, whatever we need to do on an organic level. Plus, we feeding our people also.
That's right.
We're killing two birds with one stone.
That's right.
Feeding people good, healthy food, and plus you're putting yourself in a position where you can export these foods not only in the United States, but all over the world. To our people that can't come to to Mississippi, we can send them fresh fruits and vegetables that's healthy for real.
That's right.
And because nobody's looking to be profitable, ain't nobody damn greedy, we can give it to our people at a decent price.
Mm-hmm.
And we can also undercut the suckers that got the poison,
That's
the poison organic food.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, man, it's wonderful. I'm like, well, let's get this rocking.
Right.
Let's do this.
That's right. And
I mean, this is the first time we actually have some power.
mm-hmm.
We've never had power in 500 years. No kind of power. You can actually put yourself in a position where when you said something, people would begin to listen. Right now, nigga can say something, they like, yeah, whatever. They turn up the radio and all that kind of good stuff. But no, you take control of Mississippi, and when Mississippi speak, somebody gonna be listening. The government got to listen. I'm a damn state. I started to say something. You starting to rub off, Brother Marie. I'm starting to say one of the little 4-letter words. Anyway, y'all, let's try to knock out some of these questions. I don't know. Do you want to go in order? You want to pick and choose, or how we want to do this?
I think
If we go in order, that can help me follow. I don't know about anybody else.
Well, you know, some of the questions we already covered the homosexuality issue, so we can skip those. Question number 1: why do you think white America will allow you to take over a city or eventually a state? You know, it gives me the question. I said it again. Why do you think white America will allow you to take over a city or eventually a state? See, my thing is, white America ain't allowing me to do a damn thing. We're going to do it. We ain't asking your damn permission.
That's right.
We're not asking for approval.
That's right.
Allow. You allow me what? See, that's the thing about it. Allow. We're not asking permission. We're taking advantage of the tools that we're given, like the Voting Rights Act or whatever. Our people died for that. So we're taking advantage of the political system. The things that we are allowed with their approval.
Mm-hmm.
Those rights that we're supposed to have. But we're not asking them to do a damn thing, because I'm very sure they don't want us to think like we're going to take this particular location as our own. They don't want that. I'm pretty sure they don't approve of that. They don't mind you voting, but they want to maintain, no, we want to kick your ass out and we want to run things our way for a change.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're doing. We're going to use what you gave us to our benefit for a change.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to use what they give us in a competent manner and in a manner where it benefits us for a change. There's a lot of things that are at our disposal we need to take advantage of. We just don't use them appropriately. Marching, protesting, all the things in the past that we've done, they can be effective, but we're not using them properly. Now we're going to begin to use our brain to learn how to take these tools and use them efficiently.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody, we don't care about allow us to do a damn thing. We just gonna go in and take it. It should have been ours a long time ago. If it was not for terrorism of our people back in the day after the Civil War, we would be running these states anyway. We was on our way to doing that anyway. Mm-hmm. They terrorized our people. They lynched and murdered and caused our people to cause the great migration out of the South because the Peckerwoods knew what was going down. And the United States government, of course, took the troops out of the states so we would not be protected, because that's what we was going to do anyway. Now we can take advantage. We can do what our ancestors could not do. That's all. We're not, but we're not asking for nobody's approval. Anybody else want to give that 2 cents?
Next question, Taalik.
Can I say this? I want to, of course, acknowledge our sister Noble Levine. She just joined the conversation. She just joined the blog here.
Oh, peace and blessings.
I'm like she's frozen. Well, can't hear. She's frozen, or whatever. But anyway.
What's the next question?
I don't think that question, we need to say too much about it.
Yeah.
Right. So what's the next question, Taalik?
Okay, next question. Number 2, y'all. If the people in other countries are not free from white rule, what makes you think you will be able to take a city inside of America and be free from white rule. Y'all got that?
No, say that again.
Okay. If the people in other countries are not free from white rule, what makes you think you will be able to take a city inside of America and be free from white rule?
Almost sounds like a duplicate of the first question because it's talking about.
Yes, it's sort of the same.
Yeah. It's going back to what white people don't allow us to do. So we can, if anybody wants to speak on it, speak on it. I don't have nothing.
I don't think we need to talk about it. We basically answered it already.
Mm-hmm.
We're not asking for nobody's damn approval for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, looking at the history of black people, what makes you think you will be successful without white people? There is no first world nation that is led by black people.
Whoa. Wow.
I'm gonna read that again, so for those who don't have these questions before them. Looking at the history of black people, what makes you think you will be successful without white people? There is no first world nation that is led by black people.
Maurice, you want to take over that? I know you got the answer to that, brother.
Ooh, all right, I'll take a shot at it. You know, the arrogance of the person who asked the question.
Yeah.
You know, let's look at real quick France. France has a lot of African countries that are still, quote unquote, have ties to France. And they have a law or a rule. It came out in the newspaper where they're saying that these countries have to keep a certain amount of money in the French banks, in the French bank. And they were only allowed to spend 15% of the money that they keep in those banks. If these countries needed more money, then they would have to get a loan from the French banks. They also, about the stuff that they export out of the African countries, France get their first shot at it. And if France doesn't buy it, then they can sell it to other people at the price that France sets. So what you have nations that's run by white people that's supported by black people. Because if you took what wealth the motherland is putting into these French banks, the whole economy of the country of France will collapse. And it's no different than with the British. There's no difference with Spain. All of these white countries are supported off the back of black countries that they colonized. Now, what you got to understand, as you can look at South Africa, as they're going through their land without payment. So they want to take back the land and don't pay the white people for the land, which is the right thing to do. So we will be successful because we're not depending upon you. And there is no white, quote unquote, first world country that is even in existence without the help and support of black people. So if you remove black people from your white support, you have no first world country. And truth be told, when the Black Plague was eating up over there in Europe, that it was not eating up over there in Africa and the motherland is because you white people are so fucking dirty and nasty. You didn't know how to take care of your dead. You didn't know how to deal with the sick. So you produced germs and your people were dying because you didn't even have a way to go to the bathroom in cleanness. You're a filthy, funky people. And if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't be on the goddamn planet anyway. And I'll rest my mic.
That's it.
Shouts out to all y'all nasty, filthy people out there in the TV land.
What's the next question, Taalik?
Nosy ass folks. I wanted to just add my little 2 cents in on what Brother Maurice was saying, and that is, this is the reason why I feel as though Colonel Gaddafi was assassinated. Because Colonel Gaddafi, even though he's an Arab, he was in the process of trying to bring these African nations together to form their own monetary bank.
That's true.
And that would take those resources away from these Europeans. There was nothing more threatening from Colonel Gaddafi than that. Now they was trying to murder that man way back in the 80s. They dropped bombs on Libya way back in the 80s. I think they killed one of his grandsons or something like that. They tried to kill him back in the 80s.
That's right.
But this new threat by Colonel Gaddafi to try to bring these African nations together, this caused them to just really go ballistic. We got to somehow get rid of this guy, because as you can see, they don't care nothing about Libya now, since they successfully assassinated that man. They don't care about Libya now, and we hear about what's going on in Libya. You know, the slave trade is going on over there, all kinds of crap that wasn't happening when Colonel Gaddafi was there.
But didn't Barack Obama kill Gaddafi?
Yeah, under his watch. Yeah,
he made the order.
Yeah, they the one that kicked it off.
So Barack Obama is a murderer.
He's a murderer.
Okay,
like all American presidents are murderers. You know, then when things get rough, they run down to the bunker and hide.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, back in the day, you know, even the cracker people back in Europe, when you was a leader or whatever, you led the charge.
Exactly.
That's true.
But these leaders nowadays, as soon as some kick off, they run down to the bunker. And they send Brother Maurice and me up to the front. Y'all go get them. Y'all go get them. You know, them days is over.
That's right.
That's right. But look, okay, here we go. How y'all feeling out there? Because we know we got a lot of questions, and we're gonna try to deal with them a little bit here. It's going on 2 hours into our talk. So how y'all feeling? Y'all want to keep going?
Go ahead. Keep it coming.
Good.
Okay. Number 4. How can we trust you? Will you be loyal to the cause and people you claim to love? I can answer that question from my own personal self. I've been this way since I was a little boy. Ain't nothing changed. I was introduced to the teaching of Elijah Muhammad when I was 7 or 8 years old, and I've been Michael Evans before Good Times even showed up. You know, anybody that knows me know me as that black power guy. You know, you go to my neighborhood, if you said black Muslim, there's only one black Muslim that come to mind. They'll tell you. It's me. Everybody know me as the black power guy. I used to wear all black all the time. Socks was black, slacks was black, shirts was black. I was just the black man for real. Now, you know how that was, especially being a dark-skinned person. I'm just a blackout walking down the street. I know where I stand. I don't care nothing about what this cracker got. I don't care about your diamonds. I don't care about your pearls, your Nike shoes, nothing that these people got to offer. I just want my liberation. I want to be the hell left alone. Go away. Leave me alone. That's all I want. Give me a coconut tree and a stream to get some fish, and I'm cool. Long as I'm the hell away from these people. I want peace. Our people have been suffering going on 500 years. And we deserve some damn heaven for a change.
That's right.
So I already know where I stand. I don't care nothing. There's nothing these people can offer me that would make me sell out or do other, because this is just me.
That's right. Beautiful.
So I'm pretty sure the rest of y'all probably feel the same way.
No, we agree.
Yeah, we feel this. Everybody here feel the same way. So you don't have to worry about that. We're down for the cause. There's nothing, there's no money, there's nothing that you can offer that can take us off this course. You know, The only thing can stop us is death itself. That's it. That's it. And I'm pretty sure.
Are we sure about that? I just want to know, because if I just look at history when it comes to Black leadership,
right?
For an example, like I always speak about this after the Haitian Revolution, and look at what happened to Haiti.
Yes.
And like almost every Black person that came into a leadership role became corrupt and an exploiter of their people. So when we say that there's no amount of money that can buy us, I mean, is everybody here being 100% honest? I just want, the white man comes and says, hey, here's $10 million.
$10 million.
I just speak on honesty. I don't want to just, say what people want to hear. I like to speak on, the truth.
That's a good question. $10 million is a lot of money in one shot. That's very tempting. You got some people, you can give them less than 10 million. You can give them $5,000 or less. Hell, you got some folks that sell out for free. I don't like that guy. I don't like Maurice. I do it for free. Want to see them niggas in jail somewhere. They'll do it for free.
Exactly. When I think about that, the question, what would you sell out? Would you do like other leaders would do? And, there's nothing that the enemy can offer me. And I truly mean this, for me to sell out. And, when I release videos on my channel and I read the comments that I read, and our people, they love us, they love us, they respond, they love the truth that we speak. And, I never want to betray that love.
Yeah.
I never want to betray that love. Just looking at, Sister Soul's picture, her picture right here. And as I look into her face, why would you want to betray your people, your good people that want freedom, justice, and equality? Why would you want to betray that? Why would you want your children to hate you because you betrayed what was best for your people? We all have been through different things in our lives that brought us to this moment in time where we are. Now, we all came from different routes that shaped us differently, but made us who we are to be able to stand and to do this thing that we're doing, because in truth, it is the greatest thing that could be done. So to betray that would be worthy of death.
Yes. And
to know that if you did betray this, you will die. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You will die. I expect that if I betray this movement, if I betray our people, y'all better be at my door kicking it down to take my head. You better do that. If I betray our people, that's your duty to do that. Just like it is our duty to do that to people who betray what they say they love. You come this way to betray this, and I swear to God, when we catch you, your life would be over. Simple as that. You want to die? Betray this, and you're going out.
That's it. And of course, there's things we would like to say, but we're not going to say that. But you get the point. So I think we covered that. Question number 5. Looking at the Black Panther Party, I guess they're talking about the 1960s Black Panther Party and the new Black Panther Party, which one represent true freedom for our people?
The first one. The original one. You said which part?
Agreed.
Yeah.
myself, as long as both were doing whatever it took for us within their power to do for our people, I can't pit one against the other.
Don't have any bitterness.
I can't pit one against the other, because the Black Panther Party originally done what they done during their time period, and the new Black Panther Party during our time is doing what they feel they need to do. And which one represents true freedom? Well, I don't think nobody really has a real plan for true freedom except what now exists right now, what you're hearing from this rostrum today. They want that, but in order to establish that or to actually go for it, I don't think nobody in the past really have any idea of what to do. Represent true freedom. We know that we want relief from an oppressor. That's the best thing that they could do. Hell, if you can't get relief from an oppressor, how are you going to get true freedom? And they were unable to do that. We are in a position that we can actually accomplish that.
You know, and I would say this. The key thing is what you just said, true freedom. And we know that the 1960s Black Panther movement was talking about power to the people.
Yeah.
And, you know, they had, how do I put this? I just said, they were not necessarily looking for separation.
Right.
Their aim was to have the laws applied equally to us like they do to any other people. That was their mission. The new Black Panther Party, honestly, I don't know what the fuck their mission is.
I don't know either. I agree.
I just don't know.
That's true.
You know? I don't know. And so I
contact somebody to find out what their agenda is. You know what they are trying to accomplish.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're not establishing free food programs like the old Black Panthers. They're not doing nothing like that.
And that's what made me say I agree, because knowing what I have learned about the old Black Panthers, I know that they have been intercepted, and that's what prohibited them from being as successful as they could have been. But their works are very impressive. The new Black Panther Party, I have, I guess, early on knowledge. I haven't kept up with them, but they were attempting to recruit me a few years back. So I was able to learn a lot of what was going on, and they have a different approach. I'll say that. I'm not saying that it's a good or bad thing. I just feel like it's just, I guess, different, new age, maybe with the new mindset of people nowadays. I'm not sure, but me personally, from what I know of both, I tend to more favor the old Black Panther Party.
Yes, indeed. Well, I'm not going to speak on that because probably would cause a huge debate in here, and we got to keep moving down the list. I love the new Black Panther Party. You know, to an extent. But let's keep moving.
All right.
I hate to place two Black organizations and try to pit them against each other. Like, I don't like the way that question is worded because, like you said, I don't like
the way it was asked either. You know, I'm not putting one against the other. You know, anything any of our people do to try to solve and make our condition better, I'm for it. You know, so I can't pit one against the other. We can only operate within the diameter of our knowledge. So what we feel we need to do. So, you know, people doing the best that they can, or, you know, I don't know what the agenda of the new Black Panther Party is. I do know that brother, what's his name, King Samir. I do know that he's been on the social media and in the news for talking about kill the cracker babies and things of that nature. But I don't see how that has done anything to improve our condition.
Well, he's not even a part of that group any longer.
Nah.
No, he's with a different group now.
So,
And but Bobby Seale said that he wasn't for the new Black Panther. They want something else. Bobby Seale even said that he didn't really support the new Black Panther Party like that. He wasn't in favor for them because they didn't really take on. They didn't really adopt the original Black Panther. So he wasn't for that. He wasn't for whatever agenda they was doing.
and like I said, like Brother Maurice said, I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna try to maybe contact one of the members or something like that and see, because I would like to know. I'm just curious what
They have a more radical.
I think you just need to get in contact with Bobby Seale.
He's not part of the new Black Panther. But I want somebody who can represent the new Black Panthers.
Oh, well.
That's what I want to see what they.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see what they wasn't Brother Khalid. He was speaking for them at one time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So what was the agenda when he was with them? What was he trying to accomplish?
Remember what happened with Stephen Bird? I think that's his name.
Yeah.
When he got dragged by the truck. Khalid, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad is the founder of the new Black Panther Party, and it was sparked this outrage at what these racist Peckerwoods had did to this brother. I think it was down south somewhere. They drug him and killed him and stuff by a truck, and he was just basically it was just about Black resistance. Just Black people arming themselves and because a lot of those brothers are like fresh out of prison and. Oh, but go ahead, brother guy. Sorry.
No, I was going to just say the story that I read was that the white people didn't like the fact that he was talking to white women and sleeping with them and shit. And that's the reason why they did what they did to him.
I thought it was just like they just saw a Negro walking down the street.
Nah.
That's not what happened.
Yeah, he was messing with white women and they handled it.
Okay. All right. Okay, so going on to number 6, what is your thoughts about the conscious community and what is their role in making a people a great people, or is that even possible? I said that again, sort of messed it up. What is your thoughts about the conscious community and what is their role in making our people a great people, or is that even possible?
I have a lot to say about that, but I'll let anybody want to tackle that first.
I'll tell you this, me, myself, I'm disappointed in the conscious community myself because it's thousands of people that claim to be conscious. But see, I also understand that just because you're conscious don't mean you're going to actively do anything.
That's right.
And that's the problem. You conscious, you know that there's a problem or whatever, but you're not willing to do anything about your situation. And we should be able to change this situation because there are thousands. There's thousands of people. I mean, look at the YouTube video. There are thousands upon thousands that claim to be conscious. But with these thousands that claim to be conscious, our situation is not changing. It's not improving. Matter of fact, it's actually getting worse.
Worse, that's right.
But you're conscious. You claim to be awake. Being awake don't mean that you're going to do anything. Because I can be awake but still in the damn bed. Not doing a damn thing, but I'm awake, I'm conscious. But it don't mean nothing. I'm still in the bed asleep. Well, not sleep, but I'm awake. I'm just laying there.
But the thing is, what is conscious? Conscious means aware, right? So my next question is, conscious of what? So people, like you said, people say they're conscious, but what are you conscious of? And the thing is, that comes with an action.
Right.
So what we see with the conscious community, we see people buying gator shoes and I mean, it becomes another religion. It becomes another religion. And you see a lot of pointless arguments.
Yeah.
I always thought that, that these, as far as these conscious cats, they would show that, hey, since now we got the information, let's put this thing into works. So let's, I can see if they owning a store and stuff like that, like Sonetta. Give you a perfect quick example. He's been on the block forever selling other people's work. He hasn't give. See, that right there shows me that you taking other people's work and you pocketing that money. You don't give these guys a percentage of what you sold. So it becomes, so that's, to me, that's you being a thief. And then you claim that what all that money going to? Or you got all that stuff. Most of those stores are vacant. What are you doing? He said the only thing he was going to put up 5,000. 5,000 is not enough. You got to put up more than that. And then you crying about another man because another man for money, but you've been on that block for over 10 years. And the only thing you could put up is 5,000. So that's a problem.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sister.
Go ahead, sister. Sorry.
My apologies. Maybe there's a delay, but I totally agree with what he was saying. You know, for me, it's real simple. If you look at the teachers that came before them and how they lived in their last days and how they passed, how they weren't totally respected and taken care of. I mean, by the ones that were around them, say like Sinetta and some of these other brothers that claim to have studied under them and learned from them, then, you know, that can pretty much tell you all you need to know. If you need to know much more than that, then it's unfortunate, you know. These guys are pretty much out for themselves as far as I can see.
Right.
You know.
Yes. It's not very proactive. It's not proactive at all. It's about celebrityism, you know, generating, you know, getting donations to your Patreon accounts and, you know, PayPal donations, you know, that. I mean, but if anybody wants to know, you know, about the conscious community, you have a huge library of different videos, Brother Taalik. And, you know, you speak out about this so much to where you should, I would suggest to whoever's the person answering that question to check out some of your videos. You know, they want to know more about the conscious community. So I'll end it there.
Okay.
And, you know,
yeah, go ahead, Brother.
I want to just add real quick to that. You know, being conscious, you should already understand your connection to your brother or your sister, your connection to the universe, your connection to everything that is done. And also you have to know that you are responsible for what you know.
Right.
So it's like Sister Soul when she did the presentation on Nature Boy, and this was the first time I ever heard about him, you know, and it was a long one because I normally be going to bed, but you know, she had me hanging the whole time, but it troubled me. It troubled me. You know, I'm at work in my office and I got this on my mind. I mean, I don't sleep well at night, and I really didn't sleep well, you know, that night. It was just even rougher. But, you know, dealing with that type of situation that's on your mind, and you know you have a responsibility to the truth. You have a responsibility to the fixing of the situation. And so I don't know how in the hell all of these people that claim to be conscious and out here talking this and talking that, but they are not producing nothing. They're not producing nothing. So at the end of the day, the question is, are they really conscious? And that answer would be no, they're not, because their connection to their people is not there. They don't feel responsible enough to make some real changes to stop the foolishness that's going on. So we will lead the pack and we will show them what true consciousness means. And in my last video, when I said to them that the war machine will come through there and clean it up, I meant every word I said. I meant that. Because playing with the destiny of a people, we can't have that. We can't have it. And we're not going to settle for it. Real black men have said it's not going to happen. And I rest my mind.
Yes, sir.
I would like to add to that too. If you look at the ones that the people actually follow the most and contribute to whatever they have going on the most, and you know, by ways of money, energy, following what they say and stuff like that, they tend to be the most dysfunctional ones, leading them, you know, down the wrong path that they don't need to go. So that also says a lot about the state of mind and the emotional state of the people.
Wow, that does. That does. Our people are hurting.
Yes.
They're hurting. And they need the real. They need the real. We got to give it.
All right. Number 7. And of course, y'all know that we got 45 questions here. You ain't gonna be able to do it. You ain't gonna be able to do it. We're gonna try to, as long as we can hang, as long as folks want to hang, I hang with y'all. And I gotta get up in the morning, 1 o'clock, but I'm gonna hang with you.
Yeah, I'll be here as long as you guys are still streaming.
All right. Number 7. What is the role of women in this new reality? Are there women in leadership yet? And if not, why? And when will they be? What is the role of women in this new reality? Are there women in leadership right now? And if not, why? And when will there be?
Well, go ahead, brother. I'll speak after you. Go ahead.
Well, as long as we live under white supremacy, there will never be a woman's role, especially when it comes down to our sisters. Like I said before, in my other videos, in Africa, women had a role. We put our black women on the throne. You know, they had jobs, real jobs, like commander, chief commanders in military and stuff, like power positions. Because we know that if something happens to us, we know that they'll take over. You know, so if you look at the women of Somalia, they fought with them. They got the babies on the back with the AK-47. So they have a role, of course, as black people. We always going to allow our women to be in powerful positions along with us. As long as we sit on the throne, we need our women to sit on the throne with us. But white people don't believe in that. They believe in white male dominance. So as long as there's white supremacy, there will never be a woman. Women will never have a role. I'll tell you that. Because if that was the case, then they will have a woman president in America. So,
well, the question is the role of women in the new reality that you are planning on building. That's what the question is.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just answered that question. I said, as long as under white supremacy, they will never be. With us, they will have a role. They will have a role in real leadership. Yes. If we running the show, yes.
Definitely. And you know, I'm currently recruiting Sister Soul right now. I've been working on her for a few days. So hopefully she's going to come on in and be a part of that leadership. Sister Carol, who was on, I don't know what happened to her. She'll probably be back. That's another sister that we have in leadership. So we are working that. You know, we know that our sisters are a very important ingredient in here.
Yeah.
You know, we're not going to be successful if we don't have her with us. It's just not going to work. You know, it's just not going to work. It's not reality. A man without a black man, without a black woman, is handicapped. Simple as that. Simple as that. So we're not going to go limping into the future trying to build a new reality without our woman. No, we're going to walk or run into that new reality with our woman right there with us.
Right.
Simple as that. We will not repeat what the enemy has done. We're going to do it our way, what we know of, going back to our way and our roots and our woman right there with us to help us do everything that needs to be done. So we're not leaving our women.
All right.
I I want the women to come because I don't like being around hard legs. So I got a problem with being around hard legs all the time. I had enough of that being an FOI, being around hard legs all the time. I was happy to get those posts, and they put me with the MGT. They just don't know how happy I was. I was a happy camper. So it's only so much hard legs a brother can stomach. I can't do it. Oh, okay. Well, here we go. We're gonna skip question number 8 because it's talk about homosexuality, lesbianism, whatever that crap is. We've already touched on that. Don't need to touch that no more. Question number 9 simply is, how would you define Black power?
That's a great question.
Let me tell you something.
Before you guys answer that, can I please ask? I'm sorry because I must have missed it. Is that because I was waiting? I did myself personally want to hear the answer to that question when I read the questions. So basically, you guys are okay with people being gay there or not?
What's the question? Could you read the entire question since we're gonna discuss?
Well, I skipped it because we already talked about homosexuality.
Yeah, we already discussed that.
That was the very beginning of the conversation.
I think she missed it. I think
she missed that. We already talked about that.
We could briefly touch on it. Just
that was the first issue that we dealt with, really.
Okay, I guess I'll rewatch it.
No, what's your question, sister? So we can go ahead and answer it.
Oh, because I saw one that was very direct. Are you guys gonna allow gays or not? That's basically what I saw in the question.
Oh, no, ma'am.
Nope.
Sounds good.
All right. So the question now is, how would you define Black power? You know, to me, I don't even like that Black power, that adjective. I just want to be free. You know, that Black power is nothing but a reactionary something that was made up because of white power. You know, they got white power, so we got Black power, you know. And actually, you don't have no Black power. I have not seen it. Have y'all seen it? I've been looking everywhere under the trees, and I'm like, where's this Black power thing at? You know, Black power. And they raise the fist up. I'm like, okay, when crackers do it, they sort of got some backup to support that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But when we said, it's just like it's open air. And we're not looking for Black power. I just want to be liberated from an oppressor. Leave me the hell alone. I'm not looking for no power to oppress nobody. I just want to live in peace. Leave me the hell alone.
Yes,
so
sir.
For me, it's not about Black power. You know, again, that's something reactionary that we, you know, Black supremacy, Black power, that was something that's reactionary because of the oppression that we was placed upon us. But we're not, that's not what I'm seeking. I'm not trying to gain no power, Black power. I'm not going to play your race game. You know, that's part of the cracker race game. Black power, Chinese power, Japanese power. And if you notice, these other people don't talk. You never heard no Japanese people talk Japanese power, Asian power. We the only one that go back and forth with the cracker talk about. He said white power. Then we said Black power. Ain't nobody got time for that. Crazy.
So what do you feel about this then? This question. Okay. When I think about white power, I think about, you know, the white man, you know, having the nuclear capability, the you know, the military backing, you know, the backing of the police forces, you know, and all of this stuff. This is what I think of when I think of white power.
Yeah.
It's something, it's a system set up to keep us contained so Black people don't rebel. Now, I think personally, I'm searching for freedom as well. I'm not looking to become an oppressor of anyone.
Right.
But at the same time, I feel that the only answer, the only way to defeat white power is with Black power. Now, how do we get that? That's a question. I mean, you know, that's a difficult question. And obviously, you know, we have never came up with the answer to this. That's why we are still, you know, underneath white supremacy and white domination. So,
you know, when I think of it, and, you know, we see white folks, the ignorant ones, and they holler out white power, white power. That's ignorance.
Right.
Because if you're white, you ain't open your mouth, you can call the police. That's white power.
Right.
You know, we see it every day when these people call the police on us and the police come out and do that. That's white power.
Right.
You don't have to say it. When you go to these institutions and then you be, you know, mistreated or whatever, that's white power. When you go and the laws that you're trying to deal with, that's white power. Okay? So black power is when we get into the office and then we do things our way. We don't have to shout black power, black power. We don't have to shout it. Because the laws and the way we regulate say black power. As simple as that. So you ain't gonna see us. So you don't see black power. I ain't gotta say that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show it to you.
Right.
You're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel black power.
They're gonna say it for us.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Simple as that. Simple as that. You mistreat my child, I'm gonna show you black power. You're gonna feel it. You understand? And that's the way it is. You want to see black power, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel it.
Yeah, power is action.
Exactly.
It's not word. It's not a word that you just throw around. It's always an action. Black is just a race of people that just have it. But we have to have the power. We already got. We know who we are as a race, but we just don't have the power. That's like we have the pot without the gold. You know, we have the money without, but has no value of it. There's no backing like the dollar bill. There's no backing of it. That's why it says a primary note. That means it's promise. It's a promissory note. Back in before, the dollar says this gold certificate or silver certificate, but they stopped that because that goes the Federal Reserve. You know what I'm saying? We don't have the gold no more. There's no more gold in Fort Knox. So the dollar is worthless.
That's right.
It's like the word black power. Black is worthless without the power. So we need the power. We don't have it. So it's pointless to even say it.
Right. All right. Number 10, y'all. Y'all hanging?
Yeah.
Okay. Everybody hanging? Sisters, are y'all hanging? Okay.
Yes, I'm here. I mean, I'll have to log off soon because I have a event to go to, but I'm gonna hang as long as I can.
Okay, sister. Question number 10 out of 45. Brother, repeat on that. How do you expect to keep the people safe and secure that will follow you to Mississippi?
Excellent, excellent. Well, you know, I said that, you know, first day in that we would fire the police chief and every police officer in there. They're fired first day. So that means we have to have our own people already trained and ready to get in those positions and be good. And we're also going to have our own military, our own militia, to back up our police officers when white people decide to attack. So we are going to be secure. We will be military trained, and our people will be able to operate, and we'll have orders on which that they will operate on. So security will be our first top thing that we will make sure is squared away. We will be training as soon as we find a good person to take that general spot, and then we'll begin to recruit and train for our soldiers so that when we get there, that part of the deal is already ready. They're ready to step in, take over, and we keep on moving. So security is top flight, and it will be secure. The security will be secure.
Also, I'd like to add is that this place that we seek to control, the mentality of the people will be inspired to even think differently. So since they are thinking differently, you don't have to worry about, I mean, we need to set up certain things in order to curb violence against one another. You know, we can set up like hotlines when you have domestic disputes. Look, don't y'all get off into that. Just call, you know, it's 800 number and get somebody to to mediate this dispute instead of y'all going off at each other, whatever. No matter what it is, you can remain anonymous or whatever. You know, just things of that nature. So conflict resolution will be key, and just in general, the consumption of alcohol and the drugs and things of this nature. You won't have to. All these different things will have to be dealt with. So a lot of these different things are at the root of some of our some of these violent outbursts. So when you can deal with that, you don't have to worry about a whole lot of that anyway, and basically concentrate more so on those who don't want you to do better, just want to come and mess with you for trying to better the condition of our people. So just that in itself will you be living in a much safer environment. And when people see that what you're really trying to do, the whole general attitude will be different.
Yes.
Especially when you're successful and they seeing the results. See, they will be seeing the results. They'll see the different attitude. You'll see people like when I was growing up, we used to call ourselves sisters and brothers all the time. It was a sister and brother thing. How you doing there, brother? What's up, sister? We used to do that all the time. You said, especially some of these youngsters nowadays, you say, what's up, brother or sister, whatever. They look at you like, what's up with that? What you talking about? I ain't your sister. I ain't what's up? They don't have that mentality. But right. In location, this geographic that we're attempting to control, that's going to become a mainstay. Mm-hmm. We know we see each other as brothers and sisters, as family. So if I see you as family, why would I want to harm you?
Exactly.
Why would I want to do something to cause you to bring you harm? Mm-hmm. So we alleviate a whole lot of that nonsense, not to say it's not going to happen, occur, of course, but we're going to alleviate that and knock a lot of that down. So you can more so concentrate on the real troublemakers that's coming from the outside to disturb the utopia that we're trying to secure.
Mm-hmm. And we cannot live in fear.
Yeah.
We cannot live in fear.
Yeah.
I mean, look at how, we would not have gotten far as a people, if our, forefathers and foremothers lived in fear, like Sister Harriet Tubman, when she escaped from slavery and was, going through the Underground Railroad and stuff like that. These people back in these days were doing things and just making moves out of fear of death. Mm-hmm. So we can't, live in fear. We already, as Black people, have a target on our backs anyway. Mm-hmm. We can be killed with impunity. Mm-hmm. So I just think that we just can't live in fear of what Whitey's going to do.
Right.
At the end of the day. We just got to make that move.
That's right.
But also, since we are working within the rights, that so-called rights that we are given, what is it they can really do anyway? What can they really do anyway? You're working within what we was given. So you're not breaking any laws. The only thing you're doing is putting yourself in more of a strategic position so you can benefit from the laws and the things that you're supposed to get anyway as an American citizen. But you're not getting it. So since we're not getting it, then we need to put ourselves in a position so that we can also share in the American dream. That's all you're doing. So they're going to have to be careful with how they treat and what they do, because we still are American citizens and we're not doing nothing illegal as far as they're concerned. And so they cannot just treat you where they can, but they have to be careful because the eyes of the world will be looking at this. Believe it.
And I'll say this. We know that there's going to be a fight. Mm-hmm. There ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. I don't care whether you want to call it a race war, you want to call it an economic war, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be a fight in America. Okay. Now you can stay where you are in your home and separate it. Okay. Or you can be in Mississippi with us. And when the shit hit the fan, our area is already going to be protected. Our area, again, that's why we have our police and that's why we have our militia. our military to back up, because we know the shit gonna pop. It's going to happen. But if you on the outside and you get injured and you got to go to the hospital, you think the hospital really gonna take care of you? You think they really gonna treat you well? Look at what's the brother's name in Philadelphia who's in jail now on death row, Mumia Abu Jamal. They claimed that he killed the cop, and now he's on death row. They took him to the hospital. They were whooping his ass in the hospital. In the hospital, they was whooping his ass. So when the stuff break off, and you decided not to come where we are and be safe and secure, where you have protections.
Right.
And you ain't got to worry about them cutting off your electricity, cutting off the highway systems, not getting food in your area. You ain't got to worry about that, because we are already secure here, because we've already taken that in consideration, knowing that that's going to happen. And that's why we are prepared for it. So the best thing when you're thinking about all of this stuff, you need to think when the shit go down, where do you need to be at? What's going to give you the better position and chance for survival?
Right.
Out there on your own or in the civilized area with us, already protected and squared away. That's where you got to look at. And I rest my mind.
You're definitely not going to make it as an individual. Those are going to be the first ones that fall. You have to be part of some type of group, some type of organization. You're going to have to, because individuals are just not going to make it. And that's the type of mentality that a lot of us have. You know, this individual thing. I got mine, you get your type of mentality. In situations like this, when I was speaking with my sister not too long ago, we were speaking about this. We can go to bed tonight, and anything can happen overnight. And you wake up in the morning, war declared. And they dropping bombs already.
Exactly.
Anything could happen. I mean, something simple as getting gas for your car. I've done it many times. I'm so tired, I just want to get home. I get gas tomorrow. Gas prices have went up 15 cents overnight. And, you know, things can happen overnight in the blink of an eye. So this is what we're doing. We need to get on the ball now and do it, because you never know when this will break out. Hopefully we can get something done and secure our area before something really breaks off, because you never really know. Because actually something like what we want to do should have been done a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Long time ago. Something to secure something for yourself, for our people, for ourselves. A sanctuary, a place that we can go where we can operate without the fear of some of these suckers messing with us all the time. Should have been done a long time ago. But with that said, we're gonna go to the next question, which is a gay question. We already deal with the gays. We've done that already. Question number 12. Let's say you take the city as you plan. What will you do with the people who are currently locked up in jail in the city that you take?
That's a great question.
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
Well, I tell you, a lot of people are in these jails and these prisons. A lot of them are incarcerated on. A lot of them are incarcerated on minor, for real minor type of offenses. So a lot of them, we could go in and actually release a lot of our brothers and sisters and get them off of those, get them off them papers and stuff. A lot of that stuff is minor. Now, when it comes to some of these people accused of, you know, murders and other violent crimes, they're gonna have to be dealt with a little on the different side, because you don't want that type of element, you know, among you. Just because you take control, you just want to let everybody off because they black. You know, I don't think we want to do nothing like that, because clearly they don't have the mentality that we have. So that's going to be a no-no. But we can release a whole lot of our brothers and sisters that's in these lockdowns, because they are, like I said, very minor offenses or whatever, they don't need to be spending all that time in jail, whatever. And also, since we control the budgets of these cities or even the state, we can allocate more money for jobs and different things to get our people so they don't have to be involved in certain criminal activity. We can offer counseling for domestic violence and things of that nature. So since we care about our people, we are concerned about rehabilitation for real. The enemy don't care nothing about no rehab, period. You know, he just wants to go in there and get that federal funding because, you know, just like when I was locked up, that jail made $600 a day of my body being there. So, you know, we're not concerned about making money off our people. We're there to heal and rehab our people. We're not there to make money off of them, off their misfortune.
No, we're definitely not. You know, I'm thinking that, you know, if you in jail for, you know, driving on a suspended license, you know, don't let you out, go on and do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But, you know, like you said, you're in there for murder or stuff like that, then, you know, we'll have to look at the file, see what's what, you know, and come up with some good things.
Yeah.
But I don't foresee, honestly, I don't foresee once our reality is created and we're weeding out those who don't belong, I don't really foresee our jail even being used for a jail. You know, I don't see that because we already understand the connection of what we're building and what we're doing. So I don't even foresee, honestly, you know, our jail even being used. I just don't see it.
All right.
That makes sense because, I mean, if you have a whole different mindset of people and you have a different structure going on, and like the other brother was saying about, you know, helping people with counseling and other things like that, then I'm pretty sure that would cut down on a lot of violence.
And, you know, I was incarcerated, and I tell you, a lot of people, I mean, folks just get caught up in certain situations. A lot of those brothers and sisters I was locked up, they was very, very good people, a lot of them. Even some of them was accused of, you know, some bad crime. But, you know, they was really good people. Sometimes we get caught up in different things.
Right.
But, you know, so that's what we want to concentrate on the fact that our people are good-natured at heart. But of course, in a place like that, they're not concerned with that. You know, it's punishment. You did this and that, you will be punished. You know, and while you getting punished, we gonna get paid. You know, punishment and payment. You know, that's the mentality of our oppressor.
Yes,
so yeah, eventually, you know, jails, you know, we don't need nothing like that. That's not what we are about. You know, we're about counseling and helping our people to do better. You know, what we need, you know, I understand that you do need to be punished for certain things, but that don't mean that you sit there and keep people held up for years and years. There's got to be a better way than holding somebody. They could be, look, we'll give you probation on one of our organic farms. You know, learn the organic trade, learn how to grow corn and organic corn, and, you know, instead of laying around in a damn jail cell for 24 hours a day. You know, it's better ways to do people than just have them locked up in a cell and treat people like an animal. So, yeah. Okay. Are we still hanging, y'all? Are we still hanging?
Yes, so we may have to wind up doing a part 2 because I don't foresee that we're going to get through all.
No, we're nowhere near. We're just on question 12. I mean, no, question 13. Matter of fact, it's about you, Brother Maurice.
Oh, wow.
It says Brother Maurice is a pharmacist or works in a pharmacy. So he pushes drugs on our people. How can we trust Brother Maurice if he wanted to push drugs on us?
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know you was a drug dealer, Brother Maurice. Oh, you did. You're the legal kind. You push them opiates. That's the kind of drugs you push, Eddie Maurice.
Yes, sir. You know, I work in a corporate pharmacy, so I work in a corporate pharmacy.
Okay.
So I'm not pushing drugs like that.
Not like that.
Not like that. No, I've been in a situation where, and I've done a video on it, where when I was in a retail pharmacy, and a sister was getting prescribed this medication, expensive medication, that she could have used something else that was a whole lot cheaper that does the same thing.
Right.
And I was telling her, you know, just tell your doctor to write you a prescription for this, because it's the same thing as this. It's just this is a whole lot cheaper. Because she was complaining, if I buy this medication, I'm not going to be able to get groceries.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'm telling you what you need to do. Well, she didn't do it. But what she did is she went to the Board of Pharmacy in Maryland and reported me.
Wow.
So, you know, I was almost in deep trouble. You know, I had to go to the board to defend me because they were going to snatch my license. This is my profession. This is my profession. Okay. Even though this is my profession, I still tell you what's right and what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not the kind, and there's other videos that I've done talking about my profession and explained there to you that it's a business not of healing, but it's a business to make money.
Right.
That's what they're there for. They're there to make money. They're not there to heal you. So, you know, yes, I work in a pharmacy. Yes, it's a corporate pharmacy. But I don't deal with that type of medication any longer. Now I'm dealing with cancer patients and different other type of patients that I'm over. So, you know, that's my profession. That's not who I am, but that is my profession.
I was waiting on this question too, because I was pre-pharmacy at one point. And then I only ended up going to assisting in a pharmacy, and I started to wake up to a lot of things. And I said, no, I can't be a drug dealer. You know, I can't push it. But I was waiting to see how you was going to answer that. So, yeah. But I definitely understand where you're coming from. And I'm also surprised that you were brought up for doing that, because pharmacists do it all the time. Exactly. You know, they'll tell you, you can get this over the counter, you know, or you can do this and do that. They do. I'm telling you, they do it all the time. And people should only look at it as if they're trying to help you, because these prescriptions are pretty pricey.
Yeah,
exactly. That has not been the case. I mean, I really had to go and fight because they were about to take my stuff away. And, you know, I was trying to do right by the system.
Mm-hmm. That must be because they felt like you were being a threat to their money system. Maybe that's what it was.
Probably so. Definitely. Because, you know, doctors, they get paid to, you know, get a little extra this, or write a prescription for this, or write a prescription for that. Like, come on. No. So.
This is so true. That's why we're mandated to get health insurance.
Exactly. Lord have mercy.
That was a loaded question, Brother Reed. They was trying to get you. That's what it was. That was a loaded question. All right. We'll go to number 14. I guess this is trying to get everybody. What is y'all background that we don't know about? We need you to be transparent. I don't know what that. What is y'all background that we don't know? You know, my thing. Okay, we want y'all to be transparent. My thing is, what the hell is your background?
I saw that question. I said, "Oh boy."
What is y'all background that we don't know? You know. We don't know about we don't know about. We need you to be transparent. What is your background that we don't know? You need to be transparent. You know, well, anyway, you know, most folks. I've been on YouTube for 10 years. You know, I mean, most folks know about me. You know, So I have nothing to hide. But you know, the people that ask this question, I mean, what is your background? Because I definitely don't know you. You know, all of us here, everybody here shows their face and talking.
Mm-hmm.
Most of these questions, I can guarantee you, coming from people that don't show their face. We don't know your background, and you need to. We don't know about you at all. You need to be transparent. What the hell are you about? I mean,
they want you to tell everything, huh?
Yeah, they want to tell you. Want to know when we take a dump every day or something too?
Well, I'm sure everyone in this world, there's no one in this world that has never done anything wrong. I'm sure that, you know, that's just a part of human nature.
Yeah.
But I feel that, you know, now, you know, I have grown as a person, and, you know, I'm on the right path. And and I believe that, you know, everyone on this panel, you know, wants the best, you know, for, you know, that we all truly do want, you know, to help liberate our people.
Yeah.
And that's what I would say. I'm not going to get into all of my, you know, background. You know, I mean, of course, as a child, and, you know, 12, 13-year-old little boy, I've done stupid
right,
type of things. But I mean, hey, that's just a part of growing up, you know. So.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a cool question, but how you want to ask a question like that and we don't know what the hell you about? Don't ask me no stuff like that, and we don't know what you. I mean, who are you? You know, are you here? Have you donated $2 or $3 grand to us or something? You know, I mean, that's a lot of nerve and audacity. I mean, you act like we don't owe you that much. You haven't done nothing to ask us a question like that.
Yeah, it's too early to be doing all that. Like, you know, how much, like, how specific are they trying to get, you know, to somebody who we don't even know where this question is coming from? Like, come on. It seems combative.
Yeah, I don't like that question at all. If you're listening, I don't like that damn question. Who the hell is you?
I'm choking.
Yeah, we're gonna try to do that. Let's shoot for a half an hour, then we're gonna call it a day. Can y'all hang for another half an hour?
I'm good, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to.
Okay, 20 minutes, half an hour. Okay.
Here you go. Let me say this real quick, dear brother. You know, one thing for sure is that we came up in hell just like everybody else.
Yeah.
You know, we came up in hell just like everybody else, and we're not here. All of us have YouTube channels that we put out information. And I know with my channel, I haven't been doing it as long as Big Brother, but, you know, you will see, if you go back to when I first started all the way to now, you'll see the progression that I have made during that time. And if you watch my videos, I talk about, you know, my personal life, things that I've been through, this instance or that instance, you know. So we've all went through hell trying to go through heaven, trying to get to heaven, and we have not reached there yet. And what a lot of people may do is you hear us teaching, and what we teach is perfect. It is perfect. But don't look at Brother Muhammad and say Brother Muhammad is perfect, because I ain't perfect. I'm a human just like you. I make mistakes. May not make the same mistake that I made 2 years ago or the same mistake that I made yesterday, but I do make mistakes.
Yes.
But that's where my brothers and my sisters say, well, Brother Muhammad, you made a mistake here. Let me pull you on it so you don't have to make that mistake again. See, that's where we are. And by you understanding that, then you know that A, we love ourselves, we love our people, and we love where we're going. That's what you have to make sure that you understand. We hold each other accountable, because you can't say that you love me and you see me doing wrong and you don't open your mouth. That's not showing me love. That's actually showing me hatred. See, but we love each other. So we point it out when our brother or our sister is doing wrong, and we hold them accountable and we pull them back in so that we don't do wrong. And that's the important thing that you need to take with that question. And since we got Sister Carol back with us, I just wanted to say, because we talked about women in leadership.
Yeah.
Now, for me, Sister Carol, she's my chief of staff in the project. So that's a woman. She's chief of staff. She's a high power position that controls things. She's like a gatekeeper. You all know what a chief of staff does. So, you know, we as I said before, we go with our woman. We don't leave them behind. Right. Who ain't gonna be successful. You know, they're right there with us. So as Sister Carol being my chief of staff, you definitely know that the Black woman is in power and she's right there rocking and rolling right with the Black man. Right. Thank you, Sister Carol.
Bless you, brother. Bless y'all.
Excellent, excellent. You want to say something while we got you real quick?
Well, it's the position that I have. I've been doing a lot of reading, a lot of studying, a lot of praying, and I just want to make sure that I do everything the way the Most High want me to do it, and as well as what you want me to do, Mr. Muhammad. I just, you know, I just want to make all the right steps. I want to do everything that is going to put us in a good place.
Yes.
And keep us, support my brothers, and that's why I'm here, is to be a support to y'all and to my sisters as well. So, I mean, if it's anything that you think that I should know or need to know or something I messed up on, I'd like to know about that, because I'm a very humble person, and I want to know the right things. I want to know if I'm doing wrong so I can correct it. And I'm okay with getting corrected. So, you know, with this position, it's giving me a lot of time to really think about my life and do the right thing. Even outside of this position, my regular life, I want to make sure it fits in with my position.
That's right.
I don't want to be living and doing other things that's not conducive to my position. So I'm just really, really working hard, trying to make sure that I'm where I need to be with my position.
Yes, ma'am.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Thank you for that information, sister.
Now we need to pull Sister Soul right on in here. Come on in here.
Hey, I'm attentive. I'm listening. I'm learning. Checking you guys out.
All right.
Excellent. Excellent.
Okay, moving on to 15 out of 45.
You're the one took all these questions.
You know, I don't know what it is about you, Mr. Muhammad. You got all these questions. You know, ain't nobody sent me nothing. You know, I might get one inquiry, and you bring 45. You know, I'm like, wow. I don't get it.
Maybe we could shoot to try to answer half of them, or the 20 at least.
I don't know. I don't think we're going to be able to. We only got like 20-some minutes left. We'll see. Let's see what this is about. Number 15, y'all. I think this is more like a comment, basically, more than a question. Let me see how. Lack of family structure. According to a 2002 study, what kind of questions? What are these people doing? You know, like, what is this, Good Times or something? Lack of a family structure. According to a 2002 study, 70% of all African American children were illegitimate, and that number rose from 23.6% back in 1963, because that was the year when welfare became a right according to the Constitution. Well, which made having husbands redundant. Too many African American families grow up without a father figure in the house, which often leads to what they got to do with what we doing anyway. I can understand, I see, but I don't.
So what's the question exactly?
Yeah, I'm like, what is the question? You know, do y'all understand I don't understand the question.
That's not a question.
Statement to me.
Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, I think it's a statement. I don't find a question there. Maybe they were just trying to drop some knowledge. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the knowledge. Yeah, we appreciate it. But we're going to be handling our business, because I'm very sure we will be setting up where brothers and sisters, we would be bringing the male and female together in like these marriages and better family units and positions. That's what our goal is. So I understand what they're saying here, but that's our purpose, is to make our situations much better, to make the male-female relationship much better. We want our women and our men won't have these conflicts that cause these disruptions in these relationships. You know, that's what we're trying to set up, that type of environment. So I don't know, this won't apply to what we're doing at all. So.
Yeah, I think it should go without saying that we are all well aware that one thing we definitely need back in place is our family structure.
Yeah.
You know, we need the man and the wives and the children as a household, and we definitely need the other roles being played out as well. You know, the grandfathers, the grandmothers, the uncles, the cousins, the aunts. We're missing all of that. That has been broken up over time, and we need to replace that structure. That's very important, or they wouldn't fight so hard to tear it apart.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I don't like this word calling children illegitimate, because according to nature, when sperm and egg come together, that's the law of nature. That's legal. Now, what may be illegitimate, according to the laws of man, the woman and the man wasn't married or whatever. That what makes. But why do that make the child illegitimate? What the man and the woman did was illegitimate. The child came because the laws of nature was obeyed. Mm-hmm. You know, so I don't know how that child became illegitimate. I don't like that we're calling our children illegitimate. You know, I just don't like that. You know, and this one is a bastard because they wasn't married and all this old crazy stuff. Nothing wrong. Why would you do a child like that? You know, I've seen many children told that, you know, you illegitimate. You know, how can you tell a child you illegitimate? Mm-hmm. No. Maybe what the father and the mother did was against certain law, religious law or whatever. But that child came, when sperm and egg met, it did what it's supposed to do. That child came according to the laws of nature. So how is that illegitimate? What are you really trying to say? I don't like calling these babies illegitimate. That's, you know, I've seen many children feelings really get hurt and get made mockery because of that crazy stuff. I don't like that.
I agree with you 100%, especially calling them a bastard child. Yeah. Come on, that doesn't even, oh, that's horrible.
And the word, you know, the word bastard, and you're going to tell it, you're a bastard. I mean, I couldn't even begin to open my mouth to call a child that name. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's white culture for you.
Yeah, right. You know, I'm not going to tell no child no, I can't do that. I ain't even open my mouth to set that. And you got people that don't mind calling a child, you know, your mother and father, that makes you up. These grown people, that's a child, man.
Exactly.
Come on. I mean, I can't even open my mouth to do nothing like that. Man, all these other questions that follow, it seem like they're more like comments more so than a question.
But just read the questions.
Let me see.
Let's just skip half of it.
Okay. This is a question, but it's a long damn question. Okay, here we go.
What number is that?
This is 16.
Okay.
Dangerous cities have high African American population. This sounds like a cracker to me. Dangerous cities like Oakland and Cleveland, Baltimore, and Detroit, where gang violence and crime is an everyday occurrence, has a high population of African American people who live under the government of Democrats. I assume you all are Democrats. How do you expect to overcome that type of history, knowing black people can't get along with each other in peace?
Yeah, we don't care nothing. At least me, I'll speak for myself. Like we spoke about the Panther Party, you know, the 60s. That's the party I belong to. I belong to the Black Empowerment Party. I'm not a Democrat or a Republican. That Democratic stuff don't apply to me.
Well, I guess basically what they're saying, you know, y'all a bunch of Negroes. Y'all can't get along. How the hell, what you gonna do to solve the problem? How y'all gonna get along in the state of your own? That's basically what they're saying. You know, because we can get there in a few minutes there, and I'll be throwing a knife at Brother Muhammad, you know, tripping off of who got the last bologna sandwich. You know, Negroes can't get along.
You know, I think one of the greatest things is because there will be no white people in there. We don't have no troublemaker.
Yeah.
You know, there's no troublemaker. And again, the people will have the same mindset that we have. And so the way we operate is totally different. You know, their mind is locked into America. Our minds are not. So that's why we see beyond what they can see. They can only see America. They can only see what the white man said or what this is. They can only see what niggas do.
Right.
But we're not on that level.
No.
We're beyond that. So that's why they can't fathom how y'all gonna be able to get together in peace. Fool, we always get together in peace. Because we vibrate on a different level that you have no comprehension of what in the world and how we get along and how we do what we do.
That's it. That's it.
It's not always been this way anyway. You know, when I was growing up, you know, our communities wouldn't like the way they are now. We you know, in my community where I grew up at, you know, especially during the holidays, you actually could go out and get your whole Thanksgiving dinner from the neighbors. You could actually get a turkey from this person, get the dressing from this person. And so you get your whole turkey dinner just by visiting the neighbor. Ain't nobody tripping off. They trying to get over there. I mean, nobody was tripping off stuff like that. You could actually go to your neighbors and borrow your whole Thanksgiving dinner when I was growing up. And when I was growing up, we had locks for the door, but most of the time, our door was open all the time. When people come to your house and nobody answered, they left. They didn't come in the house because the door was open. That's the type of thing that was going on. And I was, you know, I was raised in the segregated South. That's how it was all the time. You know, it wasn't until I became a city boy, that's when you had to start locking doors and let the dog out and all this old crazy stuff. When I was down south, we didn't live that way. People didn't live that way. We didn't trip off, didn't have no fear that people be coming in your house all unannounced and things of this nature. You just didn't live that way. You know, you could get things from your neighbors. So that's the way we lived. And that wasn't the only community. Matter of fact, even in 2018, there are still some black communities that you can go to. They still have the same type of mindset in the South. They still have that same type of mindset.
Yeah, we went to sleep with the front door, back door open, windows open.
You do. They do. Windows down, back door.
It's called a screen door. Having a screen on your windows. I get to Atlanta, you got to buy and make your own screens.
Get to Atlanta, you got to buy them bars.
Get
the screen, you better get them bars.
That is so true.
You know them kind of bars, when the house catch on fire, you can't get out.
But like you brothers were saying, I mean, once you offer black people a proper education like what we plan to do and give them more economic opportunity, the crime rates will just...
Yeah, you don't have to worry about stuff like that. It declines. It declines. And you know, people just act differently anyway when you put them in a state where they feel they are cared for, when they feel they are loved. That's going to change anyway. You know, even children, even bad children, when bad children understand that, look, I love you. You're doing some bad stuff and you got to stop. They change their behavior because they found somebody like, damn, they care about me. They love me. People change just the fact that they feel like, damn, somebody loved me for real. So the whole mindset. You know, we live in an environment, we know that the mayor of the city don't give a damn about us. We know the president don't give a damn about us. You know, we live in that type of environment. But that's not what we're wishing to create. We're wishing to create an environment where, you know, even if you have to pretend, I like you. Because pretending, even if you pretend, it can end up real. It can end up real. Just you don't have to like me. Just pretend. And next thing you know, he said, you know something? I sort of do like you, Brother Maurice. You ain't that bad of a guy. You know, ain't that bad of a guy. Yeah. You give me a good deal on them drugs, though. So yeah. All right, we got about 10 minutes left. Let's see if we can knock out 2 more here. All right. high abortion rates. Number 17 for y'all that got the paperwork. 17, high abortion rates. It is estimated that 30% of all abortions in the country are done by African American women. That sounds like one of these old black male women bashers. That's what it sounds. This one sounds like. This heightened loss of unaccounted lives percolates to reduce respect for life and has played its role in decreasing civility. Wow, who talks like that? Ain't anybody on the panel talks like this. I'm gonna say, look, high abortion rates. It is estimated that 30% of all abortions in the country are done by African American women. This heightened loss of unaccounted lives percolates, understand, percolates to reduce respect for life and has played its role in decreasing civility with which people treat each other. How would you handle that problem?
I think we've already answered this question as well, because you said what we're trying to do is bring, the black family back together.
Yeah.
Once you offer opportunity, economic opportunity, give
That's right.
the black babies a proper education. I mean, this goes back to the last question. It's the same solution.
So that's done. Now we can go straight to 18. The victim mindset. Man, who are these people? Who are these people asking questions? That's what I like to know. Okay, number 18, y'all. The victim mindset. Nothing holds an African American back more than seeing themselves as a victim. This got to be a cracker, boy. It's got to be. As a victim, who sees everything as someone else's fault? It's got to be a cracker, boy. Not taking the deserved responsibility to such significant degree that their victim status becomes their collective identity. How are you going to fix that big problem?
That's a white person. Definitely.
First of all, I want to say this. We are victims, dumbass.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what a victim is? A victim is somebody who has been caused harm.
That's right.
And I don't know why they have a problem with black folks being a victim, but when it comes to them, I mean, their courthouses is filled with victims. Somebody always, you did this to me. The courthouse is filled with victims. But when it comes to black folks, soul brothers and sisters, we can't be no victims, have a victim mindset. It's always about, for them, it's all right to be victim, But when it comes to us, we're not supposed to be victims, but yet and still we suffered going on 500 years. We've been victims of what you call white supremacy in this nation. Yes, we're victims. If you understand what a victim is, they want you to feel some kind of shame to be a victim, but yet and still they go to court every damn day being victim.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump is a victim of bad news or whatever you call it. What they call it, bad news, whatever. He's a victim. Everybody they can be a victim, but we can't be a victim. You don't have to actually directly be harmed in order to be a victim. Like if you shoot a deer, a mama deer in the forest, and you kill her, her babies become victims because they no longer have their mother. But the actual victim is the mother. But like for instance, if the deer was a human being, she can't get paid. So you have to give reparations or payment to the babies.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to suffer slavery. Our ancestors done that. They are the victim. They're no longer here. So reparations or any award, which we're not going to get from these bastards because they don't have no honor, but any award that we would get comes to us because we are their children and we suffer from what happened to them. We are the victims of trauma. That's what we are. So this victim mindset, we are victims. Where the hell you come up with this crap from?
But Taalik, I just want to say this real quick. We shouldn't have to explain anything to white folks.
No, we don't.
White people don't explain nothing to us.
Right.
So I really don't give a damn what they think. We know what we went through.
Yes.
And that's what you call enemy talk. The enemy an enemy will never recognize your pain.
No.
Your suffering. So I don't give a goddamn what they think. or what they think about us.
Right.
Let them think. If they want to think that we're victims, yes, we are victims, and keep it moving. Fuck them. I don't care. So, you know, I just think that's another war tactic question. I don't get involved in those stupid questions like that. Yeah. That's straight up enemy talk.
Yeah. So, again, you know, to make it clear for y'all out there in TV land, we don't give a damn about what white folks think. All right. you know, victim or whatever you think we are. I personally, we here today declare, I don't give a damn about what white folks' pinky says. I don't give a damn about what you think. And you know something? I would tell you in your face, and I have done it in your face. I don't give a damn about what you think. You're not on my side. You don't give a damn about me. Exactly. We have to do what we have to do. And if you think that you got to do something, then you bring your ass on. Do it. That's all I can say to you. You know, nosy ass folks. But, you know, why are Caucasian people in our business anyway? Just some nosy ass bastards. What y'all niggas doing? Because you don't want to help us. You don't have no concern really for our situation. You really don't. You're some nosy bastards that just want to find out what's going on here.
And you know, I remember one time me and when Craig, we had those two white folks on our show.
Yeah.
They don't even know what the word love is. You tell them that you love everybody, but they don't even know what a love is. They don't even know what compassion is. If you tell me if you have compassion to me, then why are you standing for the American flag, knowing the American flag, the national anthem, was written by a slave owner? How are you gonna say that you have love for me, but you still embracing your murderers and killers?
Yes.
So they don't even know what love is. So these are coming from barbaric people. They come from a barbaric nation. These people have sex with animals, and they call it love. Think about it. They have sex with children. They said, I love this child.
Wow.
So they don't know what compassionate love is. So I don't, you know, I try not to not listen to these people. These people are not, they don't talk human. You know, they want something else.
Like these
I try to stay away from those type of people.
Yeah, these recent questions that we've been entertaining has to be coming from Caucasian people. I don't know. Well, there are some silly Negroes that think that way, but these don't sound like, you know, the Jesse Lee Peterson type. And that's a whole subject in and of itself, Jesse.
Exactly.
Okay, y'all. Last question, y'all.
All right.
Damn, this is long. This is gonna go to the next page. Okay.
Good.
Okay. African Americans make a sizable portion of prisoners. Studies infer. Yeah, this got to be Caucasian people. Negroes. Come on, they don't talk this way. They just don't. Studies infer that what the hell is an infer? I never even heard of the word. What the hell is an infer? You know, I ain't no shame in my game. That's a word I never heard. What the hell are you talking? What is a damn infer? Okay. African Americans make a sizable portion of prisoners. Studies infer that 50% of homicides are committed by African American individuals. That sounds like something the Common Sense guy wrote. Due to this high incarceration rate, every 1 in 9 African American children you pass on the sidewalk may have or might have had a parent in prison. Due to the greater likelihood of African Americans being incarcerated, their social upbringing and family support has taken the toll. So if you make this so-called new reality, who will run it? Because y'all, because y'all niggas will be in jail. It's a serious question.
Wow.
So I knew they had to come from a Peckerwood. I knew it. They just verified that one.
It's not in jail. Wow.
But basically, we answered that question already. We are creating an environment that's going to counter a lot of these behaviors that cause our people to act in certain ways. So
I think institutional racism has a lot to do with a lot of black people ending up in jails and places like that.
Right. There's a lot of us that are in these jails and prisons or whatever on trumped up charges and minor, a lot of this stuff is nothing but harassment. A lot of it is. It's a lot of harassment. And it's we are, of course, it's racism. We get on a misdemeanor charge or whatever. Cracker Boy might get 5 weeks probation, cutting some grass for senior citizens, and we'll go to jail for 5 years on the same garbage, on the same crap. So we know that the law is against us, going all the way back to the black codes. The black codes, these laws was designed to harass us and put us in these prisons so they could send us to these damn farms to work for free. That's what the black codes was all about. And then again, there are also some laws like the sundown law. And the sundown law goes back as far as when I was a child, because I grew up in the 70s. That's a law that's not written, but you understand. Because when I was a little boy, they told you, now as long as the sun is up, you can go to the white side of town, the pink side of town, and y'all can buy stuff that, you can give the cracker your money and whatever, all you want to. But when the sun start going down, you better get your black Negro stuff back on across the railroad track. And they meant it. I seen some brothers one night that I guess they didn't know the law. They're going to get them a beer. And the sun was going down. And don't you know, next thing you know, the police rolled up on them, towed their car and took them to jail. I don't know what they was charged with, but I saw that with my own eyes. They went to jail and their car was towed.
Wow.
That's a law that's not written, it's understood. How many laws that black folks know about that's not written, but we understand perfectly? And this was the 70s. This was the early 70s, like 74, 75. Still going on. Still going on. So, we're creating an environment that will decline a whole lot of these things that they're talking about. They just want us to be some damn criminal people. That's not us. We are like that because of the environment and circumstance we've been put in. That's not us. We're not that. Hell, most of my life I grew up around black people, and we're not like that. We're not like that. We didn't become hellified until integration, and we began to mix in with them. That's when we got really, really bad in our behavior.
Right.
Hell, we even get drunk differently than crackers do. When we get drunk and use drugs, we just have a different swag, a different way of doing things than them. Just recently, because being around them, you see this type of behavior. Well, I know that from observation as a fact, because I know where I come from and I see what integration basically has done.
Well, I think we should have jails in Mississippi. You know why? Because I believe white people still going to be living in Mississippi, and they're going to be doing some crazy stuff, like doing a lot of drugs, a lot of stuff that's going to be against our laws.
Right.
So those jails will be filled with them.
Right.
That's what I think. We need to, we won't trust them.
Right.
They need to be stopped when we see them, and we need to check their car.
Right.
See if they got any drugs. So we're gonna need jails.
Yeah.
We're gonna need
jail for the riffraff that comes from.
Yes. You won't be able to trust them.
And we might be merciful and treat you with justice. Unlike you, we might be merciful, or we might give you the whole 9 yards. Next thing you know, you are out on the farm, picking tomatoes. But you definitely, we need to keep them in jail. We got some riffraff we need to lock up.
Then I prefer just execute on site. Let's just
no trial on it.
No, we don't need to waste time. They're guilty already.
Just execute on site. We'll save you a whole lot of money, man.
Sure enough, will.
I don't know. I try to avoid the lawsuits, man.
Well, you know, I mean, we disappear every day. I mean, we don't know what happened to little Johnny. He just
exactly. I've never seen him. We didn't see him.
We don't have that many white folks in this state no more.
Yeah,
little Johnny came here. I mean, we can't miss him. He's white. Maybe he didn't even show up. You know, little Johnny disappeared. I think y'all need to call the FBI. I don't know nothing about it.
Exactly.
Let the FBI handle that. I'm not interested about little Johnny and his damn meth habits.
So Taalik, I never wanted to ask you this question. How do you feel about them reopening the Emmett Till case, the FBI?
You know, I mean, Emmett Till is dead and gone. I mean, what's the point, really? I mean, you should have gave a little boy justice back in the day. I mean, this is just some. I mean, what does? I mean, how does it help? You know what I'm saying? How does it help? I mean, just like they Trump just gave a pardon to Jack Johnson. Mm-hmm. How long Jack Johnson been dead? You know, how does that help him? You know,
I mean, I guess it gives closer to the family because Emmett Till families are still alive. You know the family.
It's just some emotional stuff that really don't mean nothing.
And the woman who accused him, she's still alive. She put in her book that she lied.
Yeah, but they're not after her. They're not after her.
Right.
And the people who actually did it, they're already dead.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What are they? That's just a
but you can't sue the state though. They can sue the state because they covered it up.
They've been knowing that.
Right.
This investigation is nothing new. They're not gonna find nothing new. The shit has already been out. The people who did it are dead and gone.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're not gonna charge her ass.
No.
Somebody should have ran up in her house and beat the shit out of her. That's what should have happened to her.
Right.
You tell a lie like that and see what done, and then one of Emmett Till's uncle get on TV and say, "I forgive her."
Oh
wow!
That what gets me. I'm done. You know, the family doing all that forgiving stuff, but okay, you forgive. I'm gone. I got other things to do.
Yeah. That's why they didn't do nothing about that. Once you start saying that. The government's like, okay, I can save my money now.
Exactly. That's
You know, Donald Trump pardoned Jack Johnson, okay? Gave him an honorable pardon or whatever the hell it is. But at the same time, how many brothers and sisters are they putting in jail? You pardon one. This brother been dead for I don't know how long. But how many of us are alive and you put him in prison to take his place?
Exactly.
They let a sister go free too. It was like an older woman. I think she was in her 60s.
Yeah, something to that effect. I think that chick Kim Kardashian had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Don't mean nothing. That stuff just some. You know, it don't mean anything. I mean, what does that do to change our condition? What does it do to help us? It don't do nothing. It's some trivial mess, feel good garbage. Where some of these niggas can say, see, things is getting better. See, look. I'm pretty sure the sister feel good. She finally got the hell out of jail. I mean, that's nice. But when it's all said and done in the broader scheme of things, it don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing at all. Now, if they really want to do something, instead of us going through what we have to do in order to take control of this state, give it to us. We don't have to go through that. You know, give us what we need. Give us Alabama. Give us Georgia, and get the hell out the way. Let us sink us. Let us swim.
But can I say something, Taalik?
Yeah.
Is the only thing I'm worrying about is our own people stopping us too. You know what I mean? It's not as our own people. You know what I mean? Like when Malcolm X was talking to the brother. He was just like, yo, we need our own state. It was the black man who said, oh, we shouldn't get our own state. You know, instead of saying like, yo, Malcolm, you're right. You know, let's work on that. And even when it comes down to reparations, it's our own people that's telling us we shouldn't get reparations.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a civil war that we're in. Mm-hmm. It's not really white people doing it. White people did their part. They brainwash half our own people. Mm-hmm. So that's the scary part about it. It's like we fighting our own, because now these are black people with white minds. This is the reason why the movie Sorry to Bother You is so powerful. Y'all got to check that movie out, because it's kind of like a Get Out movie. It's the same thing.
What's the name of the movie?
Brother, sorry to bother you.
Sorry to Bother You?
Yeah. It's the same thing. How these black people, in order to keep their jobs, they have to sound like white folks to make money. It's a telemarketer thing. In order to get white money, you have to sound white.
Yeah.
You have to lose yourself. So this is what we're battling. We're battling robots. And that's scary. And this is why these movies are coming out, because it's real. We are in a civil war with other black people. Yeah. I don't think we'll make it. We're not going to make it.
Yes, we will. Yeah. Yes, we will. We're not going. No, bro.
But see what's going to happen. See what's going to happen, Maurice. Then you're going to have these conscious Negroes like, well, you killing your own brother. You killing your own people. And it's like, then you're going to have, they're going to have the white support. That's their backup. It's going to be a tough battle. I'm not going to say we won't make it. Let me correct that. It's going to be a really tough battle.
Nobody's saying that it's going to be easy.
No, we know it ain't going to be easy. It's going to be tough.
That it can't be done.
Exactly.
The thing about it, you have to make up in your mind, do you want to do it? See, that's really the key.
I'm ready.
If you really don't want to do it, it's not going to get done. If you really don't want to. But if you want to do it, if you want to do it, there's a high probability that it can get done. See what I'm saying? You got to be able to, you got to want to do it. A lot of people talk, but really they don't want to. Because if they wanted to, there's a good chance they can accomplish that. See, I want to. And your actions, you don't have to ask me whether or not I'm really serious about it. My actions will show. My actions will show that I'm very serious. Now, of course, myself and our little group of people panel today here, we can't do it by ourselves at all. We can't do it. It's impossible. However, if the people want to, I believe, I'm very sure it can be done if they want to. They can do everything else. They can have a house party. They know how to get drunk. They can do all these other different things because they want to. If they want to do this, it's enough of us, especially in a state that we have such a high population in. It should be very easy if they want to. And if you present this to them and they become inspired, and they don't have to sacrifice too much, because we don't want to sacrifice too much now. You're messing with my dope money. You're messing with my drink. You know. But if you can inspire them where they want to, we can get this done. And you want to know something? When they start seeing results, they'll put the beer bottle away. They'll put the drugs away. They're like, wow. Because this is the first time they ever see us really in a power position. A position we thought we'll never be in. President Obama is not a power position. This is what we want to do and wish to do. That's a power position. And like you say, when you come across our border, it's a whole different ball game. I don't know what you do. I don't know what you do in California. I don't know what y'all do in New York. But when you cross this border, it's a whole different ball game. And that's what we're looking for. And I think if we present this to the people that's already there and motivate them and get them on board the soul train, we got this. Man, I can see so much once this is accomplished. And there's really nothing too much the Peckerwood can really do. Well, for real, he can't. The only thing stopping us is ourselves. Doubting what we can do. Stop the doubt. Just do it. Even if you don't believe, just do it.
That's right. You're right.
Just do it. Even if you don't, if you feel as though I don't think this can work, just do it. You never know till you try. At least we can say we really tried. There's a lot of people out here build a nation and do this and that. They ain't try to do nothing. At least we can say, look, we really tried. It just didn't work. Nobody can come to us and say we did not for real put 1,000% and try. You never know till you try. You know, that's why some of y'all got babies. You know, you hit up on that sister, you didn't know till you tried. and believe me, you put in a lot of effort on that. So let's do the same type of attitude that we have chasing women. We need to do with this one. With that said, yes, sister, go ahead.
Just think about all the years that we wasted in these churches, listening to these money grubbing pastors and all these different auxiliaries that they want you to pay money for, and they want to give Pastor so and so Turtle P $500 for his love offering every Sunday. All of this craziness. You know, I spend a lot of time in churches and listening to all of this and going through a lot. Putting my money that I earn in them collection plates every Sunday, and I don't get nowhere. So I'm just saying that I'm taking a chance. I'm going to take a chance with this. I really am. I'm just going to take a chance to put everything I got into this, because I don't have nowhere else to go. I can't go back to the churches. I don't want to go back there. It's nothing back there that I can get. It's nothing there for any of us. It really isn't. So, you know, that's what I'm just pushing forward. I don't want to look back. I don't want to think about the bad stuff. All I want to think about what I can do today. Take it one day at a time and walk forward and keep walking until we can get there. That's what I want to do. I mean, I know it seems scary, it seems hard, and but I don't want to think about all of that. I just want to think about having lush gardens and beautiful home and good food and around good people that think the way that you think. That's beautiful. That's worth fighting for. That's worth dying for.
That's right. That's right. You're right. And to me, that's heaven.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
That's heaven. Liberation is heaven to me.
It is.
Yeah. So yeah, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle. Sometimes it can be a little discouraging, and I feel it sometimes. But I guess that's human nature, you know. Because like you said, it's like all that energy people putting in church, all that money in church and all that, where they could have just put that money together and just build businesses and stuff like that. Because the black churches failed us big time. Big time. So just imagine all that money black people put in the church and all that time wasted. Right. Spending that time building businesses for our own people and schools for our own people. So that's, you know, it's very disappointing, but we have to change that. We have to change that mindset. And a lot of people are leaving the church. They starting to see that, damn, I'm been putting all this money in this church and my place still look like a piece of crap.
Right.
There's still violence. You know?
Yeah.
Look at the sister who got killed waiting on a bus stop. It was a shooting and her sister got killed on a bus stop. Just trying to go to work. It's insane. And you don't see none of these pastors coming out and saying, no, enough is enough and we're gonna come together. No, they beefing too. Oh, the Pentecostal church got beef with the Jehovah's Witness church. Yeah, especially in New York, it's terrible. Eight churches on one block, and none of them get along.
Wow.
This is right on in Brooklyn, in New York. Each block is 8 churches, and none of them, they all hate each other. All churches in competition with each other.
Wow.
So,
well, with that said, brothers and sisters, we're going to call this a day. I think that we covered a whole lot of ground, and very positive speech, very positive in every kind of manner and way. Of course, Soul Sister had to leave. Glad that she joined us. And of course, my sister Carol and Sister Noble is here too. I guess just listening in the cut, which is fine. And of course, the Brotherhood is here. You know, the Brotherhood is the Fantastic Four. You, Craig, Guy, and Maurice. Fantastic Four. Oh, Sister Soul, she's still listening though. In the chat room, she's still listening. But we bringing this to a close, and we got to. I mean, we still got about 20 some questions left. And I mean, actually, the questions, even though some of the inquiry is a little whack, because it sounds like some old ragged ass crackers, really, to me. Some of them. I mean, who the hell? What's an infer? I'm still trying to figure what the hell that is. You know. Besides that, the questions are good. We need the questions. Keep us on our toes. Bring us things that we probably don't even think about or whatever. And it's still good. You know, if we have a problem with questions, you know, anybody that have a problem with questions, I question them. You know, we should easily be able to accept and answer any type of inquiry. Again, like I said, if we don't know, I can tell you, look, I don't know at this time. Maybe we can come back later and have an answer. I don't know. So with that said, everybody, thank you for joining us here today. We definitely gotta have a part 2. Hopefully, maybe we can do this next Sunday. Same bat time, same bat channel. Finish these questions up. But in the meantime, I think everybody has their YouTube channels. I hope everybody is subscribed to everybody, and keep up with whatever any of us are saying. And we gotta keep pushing, because we have that vision. We like Dr. King. He sees the vision of that promised land. I can see it. I can see the reality. It's real. It's not nothing that's fantasy. It's not a delusion. This is something, just like Brother Maurice said, this is something that we can see in our lifetime. This is something that we can probably enjoy before we leave this planet. And then we can leave happy knowing that our future generations, they're going to be just fine.
That's right.
We are the forefathers of the new reality. And you can't there can be no other title that you would want that's better than that. I don't know of one. The forefathers of a new reality. That's deep if you think about it.
That's right.
So we are the 5,000. Thank you for those who are on Facebook. And yeah, we've been, I've got people on Facebook listening to us also. And those in the chat room, thank you for joining us. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, those who are just listening in YouTube land. And perhaps next Sunday, we'll be right back at it, answering the next 25 questions in relation to taking control of the state of Mississippi. Until next time, y'all, as important as our brother Don Cornelius always said, I wish us love, peace, and soul. And we are going to be off air.